Hello, hello. Thank you, everybody, for coming in here. I hope I am doing this correctly. This is going to be a crash course for me. So, thank you for humor me just a little bit. So, I'll give you just a moment for people to hop in, but let me know in the comments if you can hear me, if things are sounding okay, looking okay. This is my crash course. All right, sounds like it's going. Awesome. Hey, I'm just happy somebody showed up. Thank you very much. All right. So, yeah, like I said on the tag, this is kind of a test stream. I'm looking to do some things I've talked about before in my intro video, and then also just recently with KB on his conversation. And I was very happy for his nudge in the right direction and in a good way. It's good to have people, some friends that hold you accountable to your goals and keep you on track. So, one of those goals was one idea I had for the movie club and doing some live streaming. So, I thought before I did that and annoyed any guests coming on was to get on, do this a little bit, work through some of my learning curve and figure things out. So here you are. I appreciate y'all hopping in and helping me out with this. So I guess with this, I'll jump in the chat in just a second, but I kind of just had a rough idea of what I was going to try to do tonight. Um, I have some new pickups. A lot of these you've probably already seen before. There's been a lot of things from the Black Friday sales, everything leading up to that. There's just been a lot of good ones. So I have some of those to show. Um, like I said, you've probably seen a lot of them already before. I have a couple, not very many, but a few Criterion sale items from the Barnes and Noble sale. I have some vinyl records here. I'll finally talk about some music. I know it's in the name there, but like I said on KB's stream, came up with the name really early. I didn't want to pigeonhole myself, and there's some things that interest me with both with movies and music. And I don't know, that's the name I came up with. So that's what we're running with at this point. And then right before the stream, some gentleman in an unmarked car rolled up into my driveway and kicked out a package like literally pretty much in my driveway. So I have that. I'll open it up. I'm pretty sure I know what it is. So we'll take a look at it here in just a second. But um, anyway, that's what I got here. I'm going to jump in. I apologize. Like I said, I know a lot of people have said this before when they get on for the very first time. There's a learning curve with this. I've been playing around with it. I've had some really great people helping me out, answering some questions. KB, there's been a lot of them, but he's been very helpful jumping in and talking to me about some of the things. So let me jump into the chat just real quick. We'll see what we got going on, see who's here. But Jeff, John Doe Gigolo, thanks for jumping in, man. I'll like I said, some of this it's new to me, so I appreciate you having some patience. So Reed, thanks for coming in, man. Reed saying hi. We got Steve Moody. Thank you, bud. Holland. Holland, is it like official? Somebody's officially live streamed if you've come in and made a comment on it. I don't know if that's for real, but I think I heard that somewhere. So I am officially live streaming now. So what we got here? Greetings, Wilkie. Hulk, smash that like button. Yeah, if you want to do that, jump out there and throw a like on there. Cody, man, what's up? Thank you very much for coming. He's also saying smash that like button. Thank you very much. Ryan, yep, yay for first. There's been a lot of firsts here in the last couple months. I've been following a lot of people in the Bluetooth community. I was quiet for a long time, and then I was like, if I'm ever going to do this, I need to start, I guess, jumping in and commenting and talking to people a little bit more, what I maybe would want to have back to me. I think I was a little shy doing that even with the chat. So um, was trying to do that more, get out there, talk, comment more, like more, just let people know things that I like, don't like, not many times don't like, but just give that feedback. And um, I appreciate all of you doing the same thing. So, hey, Allie, thanks for jumping in. I appreciate it. Monkey, yep, always remove your first. Here's my first. We'll mark it December 3rd, 2023, my solo run. I've had a lot of nice people let me jump in on their live streams, and I very much appreciate that. Been a lot of cool experiences. Everything from Bob's Blu-ray. He did his run out east to Bull Moose. That was my first, I think, official getting on the live stream. I couldn't hear really well. It didn't matter. I was on there. I appreciated being thought about. It also jumped on some live streams with got Dave and over at the 4K Lowdown and Rich. They let me come on their show. I very much appreciate that. I was out there with Gizmo on his show. There's been a lot of cool people that just let me join in and participate in the community. So I appreciate that, especially when you don't know who the person is very well. I know it might be kind of sketchy at first. So I appreciate a lot of people taking some chances on me. So let's see here. Loud and clear. Thank you. Perfect. Holland. Yep. Sound good. All right. This is going to be the challenge for me. I think I have to focus a little bit more, and we got the chat going on. It's a little bit to like listen to myself, see myself, and keep up with the chat. I love the chat. That's what I was telling with KB. Like, I love the conversation that we had when we did the live stream, but I literally could have been, as much as everybody was interacting and asking questions and going through that, I could have just sat and done that. It's fun to hang out and talk to people that have similar interests with the movies or music, anything, and talk about that. So as I get ready to dive into some of these things, if you do have any questions, throw them out there. I'm willing to take a look at them. And maybe I'll have a personal question for one or two of you as well. We'll see. So be careful what questions you ask. So, all right. So, hey, Sarah, thanks for jumping in. Thank you very much. Hey. So, okay. Don't hold this against me, but so when I see double feature podcasts, I always think Mika and Kira. I never know if one of you goes on one or the other handle. But either way, I want to say hi to Mika and Kira. They're awesome. I know I reached out recently. Sounds like they got the podcast thing maybe coming back up again, and no pressure. Believe me, the things I've been doing take so much less time than what your podcasts take, but I enjoyed listening to them and look forward to those coming out here soon. So cool kid, the original cool kid. Now, Johnny, I know the other night I was meaning to talk to you. The other night on KB's channel, some things were said. I think some feelings were hurt, and it's on me, man. So I apologize, but I do love Ghostbusters. So hopefully we have that we can still cling on to. And I appreciate you jumping in here and giving me a second chance. So, all right, Tony, thank you very much for coming in. As you will find with me, I get a little nervous and my face blushes very, very quickly. So I'm probably going to be lots of shades of red before the end of the night, but it's a good thing. I appreciate y'all jumping in. Tony, thank you very much for coming in and seeing what's going on. Movies with Ryan, you're awesome too. Criterion winding down. Can't wait for that Arrow video. I don't know. Maybe I can wait because Black Friday and that whole, it's not even Black Friday anymore. It's like the month. There's been so many sales that I jumped into, and I was so proud. I was like, Criterion sale at Barnes& and Noble, I'm like 2 movies, I'm gonna pick 2 movies. I did it. I did it until I walked in this weekend, and I got 2 more. So, kinda failed on that, but hey, what do you do? There's a lot of great films there. Saying hi to Tony. A lot of love for Tony. He's a cool guy. I love checking out his videos. Uncle Tony, what do we got here? I'd officially love to join the movie club, Wilkie. Are you accepting applications for a spot? So first of all, Monkey, I'm thrilled that somebody even wants to join and talk to me about this. So absolutely, you're in there, bud. That is one thing I was going to try to hit on tonight. And like I said, KB in a positive way gave me that friend, the nudge to, okay, you came out and said this is something you want to do. It's something you're interested in doing. Are you still interested? If you are interested, what steps are you going to take? What's the next step? What are you going to do? So that conversation with him, that got me wanting to do this. So I might have jumped into the live stream right away, but I wanted to try to do this, work out some of the nerves, figuring out StreamYard a little bit. Before I'd love to have guests on to do that. So yes, absolutely. Monkey, keep me in mind. I have a horrible memory, so don't take offense to that, but keep reaching out, and we're going to get that going. I really want to do that. So what do we got here? Ryan, control yourself. Ryan, come on, man. What are you doing? You're a natural, Corey. You're Allie. Thank you. You're awesome. You and Anthony. That's where, if I don't say somebody's name tonight, please don't take offense to it. When I get the nerves going like this, I misspeak. I forget names. I do a lot of different things, and it's no offense to anybody, but there's been so many. I've ran into the negative side as well too, but there's been the positive outweighs the negative for sure. And there's been so many awesome people out there, and you and Anthony are definitely some of them. So that's all I'm getting. Yeah. I told myself I was getting 2 titles. Didn't happen, but what do we got here? Sarah. I know I've seen you around a couple chats before. I'm new here, Corey. I heard you're amazing. Well, thank you very much. Don't get your hopes up too much. I might let you down a little bit, but if you're willing to hang out and just talk about some movies, I think we'll do all right. There's some goats here tonight. Absolutely. I enjoy jumping in here and seeing all these names. It's kind of, not to be corny, but it's kind of surreal to be on the chat side of things and seeing all the names. I love jumping in and talking to, but when I'm the one doing it, and now seeing the names jump into my chat, pretty cool. Little surreal. I appreciate Corey for comment. Oh, Tony, you know what? You're awesome. Even if I think your channel, I love seeing everything that you throw out there. And, sometimes there's so many people I want to like go out. There's people I want to watch the videos, but there's some times where you have a time crunch and you can't get into it. And yours are, there's sometimes where it's a more digestible time frame. And not that I don't like longer videos, but it's kind of nice to have some of those smaller ones to be able to jump into. And you always have so many great movies, additions, things that I've never seen before. But I honestly think, I'm not telling you not to pick up anything new, but I honestly think even if you cut back or just took a break from purchasing, you have so much knowledge and so much in your collection that you'd have content for a long, long time. And I'd be one definitely jumping in there and commenting. So hopefully I don't get annoying. I try to really like listen in and like say something meaningful in that. And I know you can get busy too. So you're not going to hurt my feelings if you never can jump in and reply back on that. So what do we got here? We got a bunch of people talking back and forth saying hi. Sorry, I'm new to this. I'm trying to go through that. No need to apologize. You're one of us. Johnny, thank you. Especially after what I said the other night. I appreciate you saying that. So What do we got here? Just wait until you see. Ooh, do we have a video coming out? I'm interested. I'd like to see that. I don't care if it's 1 or 20. I'm ready for Johnny to throw out the Criterion Hall. So do it, bud. You're doing great. Cody, thank you. I appreciate that. It's funny how like the whole night, the whole day, I'm like, I'm cool with this. Everything's going to be good. Was getting things set up. I got my stacks of movies, my records, everything. I'm like, no big deal. And then I saw the counter go under 5 minutes. 452, 451. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. Had some butterflies flying. So you can act all cool until that counter gets really close. So what movies have you watched recently? Anything stand out that you recommend? Read, that was a couple things I was going to jump into actually too. Um, there's been a couple I love getting recommendations, and I know I've said that a few different times, but there's so many times where there's so many movies out there, different countries, different regions, what have you, different releases, and you just, or at least I can't catch them all. So I love seeing some people like you and so many others in the community that I've seen things you're pulling and saying that you like. I agree with that. And so when you say something like, hey, maybe check this out, maybe I'll like it, maybe I won't, but no hard feelings. But I like getting that and looking into it. So there have been a few that just recently, one of them was, if we can see that, Emergency Declaration. So this one was from Paul with Magpie Movies. Very cool guy, very supportive. And this is one that Korean film. So I've gotten over the subtitle thing. It doesn't bother me anymore. I don't know if it does for everybody else. I believe there's English subtitles, but honestly, they bother me anymore to do that. So it doesn't bother me doing the subtitles. So as long as you're good with that, it's definitely one worth looking at. It's kind of I'd say maybe a thriller. There's I don't want to give away too much, but a plane situation. There's like a virus, bioterrorism type of situation, and how that all goes out. It's a little longer. I'll admit there was some times during the movie that it started dragging just a little bit, but definitely worth a watch. And the ending made up for any part that I felt dragged a little bit, but that just could be my bad my bad attention span. So that was one. And then another one that I just watched was Laren threw out a suggestion for Time Crimes. One, I ended up finding out I actually had heard of it before, but knew nothing about it. I actually had it on my watch list. So it was kind of cool. I had it on my watch list. I apologize. I don't know who threw it out before, but Laren said, watch it. Don't look into it at all. Just go into it. And I'm so glad I did not know. I knew very, very little going into it. And it's trippy, but it's that one is also subtitles, or at least the way I watched it. Spanish language, and I did the English subtitles, and very good. So Time Crimes, that's another one. I don't have the physical. It was on Peacock, I believe, if you have that. So definitely one to check out. So Caveman Guy, thanks for jumping in. I know you're busy and driving around, I think. So thank you very much for dropping in. Oh gosh, here we go. Yes. Caveman. Okay. The old cartoon. I want to say that every single time when I see your name pop up. So oh gosh. Oh, here we go. Ken, thank you so much. That was one thing on KB's conversation. He was nice enough to have me on there. I was talking about that. Some of the first people that I got into watching on the BlueTube community, Ken, you were probably one of the first ones. And that was one that I think one of the early ones, it was a very early audit video with you and Michelle. And I kept, and it was like a wormhole. I kept on a rabbit hole. What do you want to say? I kept on going through and watching older and older ones of those. And I was like, I don't know if I have enough courage to do that. So props to you and Michelle. You both seem like such great people and loved hanging out at your channel. So like I said, I try to be more vocal. Sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I'm listening a lot during work. And if I don't comment, it doesn't mean I'm not watching the thing. So very thankful for you to drop in and take a look. So I think Ken and Bob with Bob's Blu-rays were some of the first two channels I ever saw. And it was very cool. So let's see here. Sorry, this is different on this end of things. Taking a look. So Collector Movement. Hey, Corey, I'm feeling better. My headache is finally gone. So I'm very happy for you. Awesome, man. Thank you for stopping in. I know you weren't feeling well. You sent me a message, and that was very cool of you to do. I hope you're feeling better, and just maybe sit back and relax. When you get sick of listening to me, you can throw a movie in and watch that. So I know you had some good ones coming in. I saw one of your last videos that you showed some of your haul. So, okay, Mika. Okay, so it's good to know. I always want to say hi to both of you, but I never want to slight one person or the other. I never know who's jumping in under that handle because I know you have, I think there's a couple of them. So thank you very much, Mika, for jumping in. I'm sure Kira would too. I'm sure she would. Jeff, absolutely. Like I said, nothing's ever perfect. You can run into things anywhere you go, but there's been some pretty awesome people that I've met. So that's the thing. I know it's hard sometimes. Sometimes one negative can wipe out 6 positives. But lately, I've been trying to do more and more of like, it doesn't have to be that way. It's hard. It's easy for me to say, but focus on those positives. It's awesome. Yeah. If you have anything positive, anything good happen to you, throw it in there. You find a dollar bill in your pocket doing the laundry, let me know. That's awesome. All right. So sorry, trying to catch up here. Yeah, no doubt. So I got Ken, absolutely. So when I had StreamYard up and it was doing the countdown, it got under 5 minutes. All of a sudden, I'm like, what am I feeling right here? My heart started beating a little bit faster. I started getting a little nervous. But when I went in to go live and I heard that music for the first time on my thing, absolutely. I got a bit nervous. I'm not gonna lie about that. So Paul recommended Emergency Declaration 2, picked it up as well. Awesome. No, I had a great time with it. I'm still at the point where I'm a little nervous about recommending movies to people because most people are like cool. Like if they end up not liking it, they're just like, "Meh, you liked it, but I didn't. No big deal. No hard feelings. Doesn't mean we don't like each other." But there's some people that sometimes it's like, "Why'd you recommend this to me? I hate this movie." And so, anyway, I don't think you'd do that with it, but it's very, very good. I'm going to finish the TV show tonight. Truth be told, I watched season 2 and season 3. All right, cool. I don't know that one. So that's one thing. I think I have a bad attention span. There's been so many movie or TV series that I don't mind. I like them, but I just can't get past like season 1 or season 2. And I kind of gravitate more towards movies. I've been buying some more TV shows, some series to try to get back into some of those, but I think people just sometimes gravitate towards one or another. And I just know that I've heard some people also say like, "Nah, movies aren't much for me. I want to watch a series," and each of their own. But I like both, but I don't know why. I just seem to not always saying hi to Ellie. Wow, okay, this is awesome. I appreciate everybody jumping in here. And if I miss a comment, I apologize. You got a rookie running this show tonight. So, no, absolutely. You guys are fun. I love you. there's so many just cool, down to earth people doing this that it's fun to jump in, and you're willing to let somebody that has a lot smaller collection and a lot less knowledge jump in and talk, and there's nothing wrong with that, and that's what's awesome about a community on a collection, whether it's movies or records, things like that. The It wouldn't grow if you didn't have new people jumping into it, and everybody's got a starting point, and nobody knew everything when they started. So it's awesome when people just are like, they take a bigger thrill of taking that new person and showing them the ropes, explaining some things in a positive way and helping them out instead of downgrading them because of that. So, and there's been so many people that have done that with me that I very, very much appreciate it. So Tony, been called you. I have made a couple purchases because of your videos. We'll just say that. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I've made some purchases from watching some of your your videos. Tiana, did I miss Tiana? Tiana, there you are. You are another positive. I know you had a question out on, I believe it was Instagram just recently, asking if you should put out some more YouTube videos. I would like to see them, but don't feel pressured to do it. What you're comfortable with, go with it. Whether it's, there's been a long time where I was comfortable with being in the chats and supporting people and talking to people through that. But if you have a desire to do that, you'll have a viewer here. I'll be jumping in and watching them and giving you a like and giving you a comment, but you gotta want to do it and don't feel pressure to. That's one thing with this. And I've heard other people say it before too. This is for fun. It's the enjoyment of talking about movies, finding people that want to talk about it with you, and it's not a second job, So just do it. Makes you happy. But I love seeing you around. You're so positive. All right. What do we got here? Ken. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. All right. Sorry, I'm trying to go that Anthony. You are another positive guy. So if I don't say your name, please don't think I don't think you're positive. But there's been so many really cool people that have helped me out, whether it was confidence or just talking. You're a cool guy. Thank you very much for everything you've done. It was fun jumping on with you and Gizmo on that stream. You guys knew way more movies than I did, but I loved it. And holy cow, that was a marathon. I think we streamed for 4.5 hours. You guys broke me in. I'm going to tell you that. It was fun. I wouldn't trade it in for anything, but man, it it was a long one. Okay. Tell Kira hi for me too. Hey, just for you two. I didn't know how long I was going to go because for all I knew, I was going to hop on here and there was going to be 0 people. And I was like, oh, I'll prep and just kind of do it like it's a video and I'll talk through a couple things. But like, just in case, I dry out quite a bit, especially if I'm talking a lot. So I have some tea. So I thought of you too. I have a little Diet Pepsi. Got some things laid out here just in case, but was it prepared just in case, but might not take that long. So 4K tent revival. How we doing, man? Brad, thanks for jumping in. I've seen many of your streams too, so I appreciate you jumping in. Yep, Johnny, we need. Hey, you said it. I didn't. So, all right. Let's see here. This is awesome. As long as you guys are putting up with me, I know it takes me a while I'm not the quickest reader in the world, so I'm taking a look here. What did Johnny say? I was the same way when I first started except I screwed up my intro. Well, I don't know. Tell me. Maybe I screwed up my intro. I was trying to how do you do the timing? Get it started and do the countdown and not start talking too soon, and so many things to remember. It looks so easy until I decide to do it, and then I got to figure it out. So throw those recommendations out, Corey. We love checking out new films. It's great. Yeah, absolutely. So I love that because there's so many, like I said, there's so many movies out there that you just, at least for me, there's so many that just go past me. It's not for a lack of interest. I don't see them. I don't get to them. But when I hear somebody, and actually, I have a few movies I think stacking up here. At least one of them I think was from your recommendation from a stream I saw for you. That we'll try to get to that. I'll jump to it here, but I also love as long as you guys are good. I love going through these comments. Like I said with KB, I almost felt like just chatting with everybody. I love talking to him. I love the questions because it makes you think about some things and just verbalize it. But it's fun to just talk with people on these things too. So Anthony saying hi to Allie. You know what? You guys had some posts that made my day. There's like so many things that not to be weird, not to be corny, but you focus on the negatives of life. And I do it all the time too. Like you get down on things and you know that things could always be worse. And there's so many good things out there. So I loved seeing some of your posts of you guys hanging out together. Um, Loved your story, how you met, things like that. So anyway, don't want to embarrass you guys, but I love hearing the positive things. Like whether you think it's little or small or little or small, little, large, whatever. It's great to hear. I love focusing on those positive things. So hey Huck, did I miss Huck? Huck's Pop Culture Cafe. Hey buddy, just got home popped on. Thank you, sir. I realized the other night I was giving you a shout out. Please don't think I was messing up on purpose, but I get nervous. And like I said at the beginning of this, I'm going to say a name wrong. I'm going to forget a name, whatever. But I think I left cafe out of your thing. But awesome, your milestone that you hit. And I think we're going to be hanging out on a little bit of a show here in the future. So I'm looking forward to that. There's a few of you that I've talked a lot in chats and looking forward to doing like I guess not truly face to face, but kind of face to face and voice to voice. Looking forward to meeting you. You have such a great positive energy to you. I appreciate it, really, truly. What do we got here? Brad Anthony Huck saying hi. Spicy Reed, he's been awesome too. You might have been my first. I'm not saying people didn't give me chances or talk to me and things like that, but I think Reed was one of my first shout outs I heard in a video. So that was kind of awesome. Not to be like self-centered, but it was kind of cool that, you appreciate what people are chatting about there. So what are some of your family memories, favorite Christmas movies? Oh, members. Sorry, I read that wrong. So for the longest time, and I know some people debate whether it's a Christmas movie or not, but Nightmare Before Christmas, that was one that I actually watched quite a few times with my kids as they were growing up. They kind of grew out of it a little bit, but that was one that I know you can say debate Halloween, Christmas, both, whatever. Is one that I'm old enough that I saw it in the theater when it was first out, and I honestly didn't care for it a whole lot when it first came out, but I grew to end up loving it. And then that was one that each year I usually would throw it on with my kids. And then I think at some point they got to an age where it was like, why do you watch this every year, Dad? So anyway, I have fun with that. So that'd be one. My wife, I don't know if there's one, but it's pretty much the Hallmark Channel for the month of December is her favorite, maybe. I'm not slighting it, but she definitely loves the Hallmark Christmas movies, and I think my daughter joins in with her on that. So it's best if you spread positivity, but it's still stupid easy to fall down. Just remember, there are a ton of people who like and respect you. Guy, I appreciate that, and that's absolutely true. It's hard. I can be like, oh, be positive, say positive things, and then you can catch me tomorrow and tell me I'm not doing that. It's hard to stay out of that. So saying hi to everybody. Wow, I'm honestly blown away. Everybody jumping in and chatting. I'm trying to go through this. Like I said, rookie. So if I miss you, I apologize. But You're not sure. Thank you very much. And that's where I don't know. Hopefully, I don't frustrate people on movies and the music I listen to. I don't just say that, but I'm kind of all over the place. And so there's some mixes that I'll go from one to the other that might not seem natural or like it might be a jolting shift from one to the other, but it really depends on my mood. And I I'm kind of all over the place, and I'm willing to try new things. So even if something sounds like it might not be up my alley, I'll try it because you don't know until you watch it or you listen to it. So absolutely. And it's fun listening to figuring out everybody else's taste too. But that's where some of those people listening to you all and getting your taste. And then when you throw out a recommendation, my ears perk up a little bit more when I hear that. So Tony, thanks for jumping in. I know I never knew if this was going to be a great time to go on. It's just what kind of worked out for this week. I didn't want to step on anybody else's toes if there was streams going on, and it's hard to. It's kind of like when you're trying to get family all together. Everybody's got schedules going on, and there's going to be times where you just got to pick a time and go with it. And what works, and what doesn't, you can hit a replay. So I was on my first live stream a few weeks ago in Nervous Corey. I was hooked. I did get to see a little bit of that. I was traveling a little bit, so I didn't get to watch the whole show, but no, you did great. I would not have done well on that. I love Friends, but I think that's what it was, the Friends trivia. It was very fun I listened to it a lot, but didn't get to watch it. But yep, 4.5 minutes. We jumped on and yes, absolutely. That was so much fun. Gizmo's been a cool guy too, where say night to Tony. Reaching out, and I've got some great recommendations, just kind of picking away at some that he's thrown out to me. But with budget and everything else like that, just kind of pick away at it while I can. So saying goodnight to Tony, saying hi to Mika. Here we go. So, okay, so John, Plat X2, I've enjoyed talking with you too and getting recommendations from you. Got to tune into your live stream that you had not too long ago. I believe with Stephanie with Movie Chatter. That was a fun one to jump into. So definitely check his channel out if you don't know John. Got some great mix of movies that you watch. I think that's where I kind of gravitate towards where I don't know. I'm all over the place. So I appreciate seeing somebody that is similar in that way. So Cody, what do we got here? Yeah, my live stream was really nervous, but when you go blank, someone asked me a question, but once the Bluetooth family jumped in, yeah, absolutely. This is saving me right now where like I said, I was totally prepared for 0 people being in here. I was like, okay, go into this. Nobody shows up. Keep on recording it. What are you going to do? I didn't do a video for this week, so I was going to do this. And I'm like, okay, I'll get some movies set out, be prepped for it. No hard feelings. People are busy. Things are going on, other things, and so I pretty much, when I saw somebody actually showed up, I think all that went out of my head. So kind of winging it at this point, but I appreciate people saying things and jumping in. What do we got? Mika, we are going to do a test live stream as well. You're right. It's a lot to remember. You get the hang of it. Thank you very much. No, I appreciate it. Hopefully I don't run anybody away tonight as I do this. Tim, thank you so much for jumping in. And if I say thanks for jumping in, and I've said that like 4 times already, I apologize. Like I said, kind of the nerves going, but you can only watch so many movies. Yep, absolutely. Don't worry on the stuff you haven't seen. Yep, absolutely. And you have a couple new videos out too that I've been watching that are awesome. So I hope you're doing well. Didn't know if you had to buy a scarf or anything. You look good, but you're going into winter. Get rid of that beard. You're gonna be cold, man. I've done that before too. So just giving you a hard time. Let's see here. Check out the videos. Let's see. Oh, awesome. Thank you very much. There you are. What we got here? Any specific holiday films you're checking out this month? So, um, I have a couple that I actually just upgraded to 4K. So, whether I jump into some of these, but I'm sure there's a lot of people you've already seen these before, but none of these I'm saying are like the greatest movies ever, but they're ones that I have fun with. Hang on a second, I gotta grab from the bottom of the stack. But a couple that with some of the sales going on, I got some 4K upgrades for were well, if I could figure out where to go with my camera, A Christmas Story and Christmas Vacation. Those, like I said, not saying they're greatest movies ever, but they're ones I always remember seeing. Christmas Story, I actually saw in the well, actually both of those I saw in the theater when they came out, but um, those are always kind of fun ones to see. Always open to new ones. I don't know if you have any suggestions. Throw some stuff in the chat. So, all right. So sorry, I love the chat. So don't get me wrong, but it's different when you're running the show when you gotta go through here. So saying hi to John. Too many Ryans. Congrats on the live stream. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's a little different when you jump in there. You think it's no big deal, but Jack Skellington is so cute though, Johnny. Oh, I like it. Nightmare Before Christmas. It's always a fun one. Like I said, I liked seeing it with my kids until they kind of grew out of it. So read any new movies you're excited to check out, either theater, streaming, or physical releases. So one I was actually kind of looking forward to see was Napoleon, but I've been hearing mixed things about it. I have not seen it yet, so I don't know. I think it was one my son. He's older. He's like 20. He went and saw it with some friends, and I think the thing he told me was it was good, but I think he struggled with a movie where he was. I just didn't feel like I could root for anybody. So um, I'm interested. I know it's a long one, but was curious about that. I don't know why the Silent Night that they were showing commercials for looked kind of interesting, but I've heard mixed things on that as well. Wasn't figuring it'd be like Oscar contender, but there's been some fun action Christmas movies out the recent years. Violent Night, I don't know, that was one that's not saying it's great, but it was fun. It was a fun watch. Johnny Nightmare never checked a Corpse Bride. On the other hand, love that. Okay, don't hold it against me, but I've never seen Corpse Bride, so I've heard of it. So I'll have to add that to my list, Huck. So I will check that out. That'll be on my Christmas list to watch. Congratulations on the first stream. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. It all stems from Tool Video Sober. After watching that, I just couldn't bring myself to go see it. Okay, so I know Tool. I don't know if I've seen that music video, so I might have to look that up later. But I was actually just listening to not too long ago Tool. I'm good at messing up quotes from movies and titles of movies and songs, but I think it was Chocolate Chip Trip by Tool. There's a kind of a cool drum solo instrumental for that one. I was just listening to that not too long ago. It came up in the mix. So let me see here. We got, don't worry about annoying people, about your taste. Yep, absolutely. Cal, thank you so much for jumping in, man. I always see you up so many times on Instagram, things like that. I really appreciate you jumping in. So there's so many I'll probably bug you at some point where I want to have a if I get this movie club thing going on, if anybody's interested in joining in with that, yeah, there's so many people that I think would be interesting to see what their picks would be of a movie to watch and kind of digging into it and having a discussion. So thanks for jumping in, man. All right, what we got here? They keep coming. Thank you so much. What we got here? What's your favorite Christmas movie, Corey? So fun ones. I was just showing Christmas Vacation and A Christmas Story. I'd probably have to go with those. But if you count A Nightmare Before Christmas, that's one I'll watch actually around Chris or Halloween and Christmas time. So maybe we'll go with that one just because I watch it probably more often. Dell, thank you so much, man. You're another one. Like pretty much everybody that's in here right now, I want to have a longer talk with at some point, whether it's on a stream, mine or yours or whatever. So many cool people that and so supportive. So I appreciate it. So thank you very much for dropping in here. Uh, Johnny, you're throwing fastballs at me, man. Okay, Corey. Serious question: is Die Hard a Christmas movie? So I'm going to say yes. And we'll see. I can't remember 100% what side you fall on that. So we'll see if I made you mad again or not. I'm going to say yes because everything has a Christmas tie into it. And I don't think it would have happened without Christmas. There were so many, the Christmas party, everything else going on. Die Hard, it's a Christmas movie. Done. No more discussion. Just kidding. Okay, let's see here, Steve. As for Napoleon, okay, you're gonna find too. I have a hard time reading and not speaking, or I'll do a combination of mumbling and reading at the same time. So I apologize for that. Yep. No, I thought that looked good. Tool Sober is great. Okay, I'm gonna have to check it out. I didn't have cable for a long time, so there's a lot of music videos that pass me up. But I know the music. I listen to it, but Superman, one of my favorites. Saying hi to Dell. Did you get to check out? Yes, I did. Okay, so that was my Friday afternoon, man. It was kind of funny that I'm on an email listing that will throw out some music recommendations, new things that are coming out, and they had Czarface on there. So I thought it was kind of funny. It might, as I hit my microphone, I'm a professional. Uh, I might have went right past it if I would not have been talking to you about that. So no, I had fun listening to it. So that's the thing. It's like, I'll be honest, that's not like the first thing on my playlist, but I love hearing things that are different, things out of my wheelhouse, because I don't know, sometimes you get listening or watching the exact same things and you just get or I get bored with them, and it's nice to hear something completely different and show you what else is out there. So yeah, I'm still digging into it, and I actually sent a couple of the albums over to a buddy of mine that we have the same music streaming service, and so you can send like links to albums or songs, and we do it all the time where we're like, hey, have you heard this, or have you listened to this, or have you checked this one out? And I just sent that over to him as well, and he was enjoying that. So Cal, yes, okay, you're gonna regret saying that. We're gonna hang out and talk sometime. Dell, yes, okay. So I'm coming back into favor with you a little bit after all those mean, horrible things I said on KB stream. I'm doing a little bit better. We got Ghostbusters and we got Die Hard now on my side. So that's awesome. Trapped in Paradise with Reindeer Games. Okay. So I may have bought Reindeer Games here recently. So there was a cheap Blu ray I came across. So the whole plot hinges on absolutely. So I'm right there with you. I know it's kind of funny when you get in those discussions. It's there's some very hard opinions about those. Absolutely, Brad. Starface needs more. Hey, so that's what I absolutely love. Like you can get in your lane sometimes, like listening to music and the or movies, and you get suggestions, and it's like you can have all the algorithms in the world, and it gives you stuff that's kind of similar to that. But I love having somebody that's like, whether they're recommending it to you or they're just like, oh, this is awesome. This is something I'm just listening to right now. the algorithm can't pick that up. It could be so different than what you're listening to at that moment, but that doesn't mean you're not going to like it. And I love that. So nothing beats human interaction and getting those discussions going. So I no, Ryan, I'm having fun with those. I can't say I've gotten through a lot of it yet, but I was doing a couple of their solo albums and a couple. There was the two collab albums, so I'm liking it. Batman Returns my top. Yep, it has to be. It's a Christmas movie. Wouldn't be the same with it if it didn't have Christmas time going on. Okay, agreed. Bad. Yep, that's a great one too. Cal Reindeer Games underrated. Yes, absolutely. So, all right, I can see that I am 51 minutes into this and I've been doing chat and I'm not complaining about that one bit whatsoever. But as long as you all are doing fine, I'm going to try to figure this out. I think I can start a comment to come back to it. I was going to throw out a couple things that I picked up here and I'll get back to the chat here. But honestly, I could just do a chat where like, or a stream where I'm just chatting with everybody. So anyway, I had kind of I was being all proud this month where I was like, I'm going in the Barnes and Noble Criterion sale. I'm only getting 2 movies. I'm only getting 2 movies. But I probably should have said I'm only getting 2 movies each time I walk into the store. But I only walked into the store twice. So the first, right off the bat in the beginning of the month, I grabbed 2 4Ks from the Criterion collection. So I had grabbed The Others. Sorry for the glare. Some of these are still wrapped, so it makes it even harder. But The Others. Never seen it. Heard a lot of good things. One I've always heard of, but I don't know why I never saw it. But the second one I grabbed was Mildred Pierce. Why is it so hard to figure out the angle you need to put this with the light? But Mildred Pierce, and I've heard nothing but good things about this. I'm looking so forward to watching this. So those were the 2, and I was all proud. I was only getting 2 Criterion movies. And then this weekend, I decided I was going to walk into a Barnes & Noble store, and I got 2 more. So one they had in stock, one they did not. It said it was in stock, but they couldn't find it anywhere. And I got to give props to the lady that was working at Barnes & Noble. I didn't get her name, but she went above and beyond. I said, hey, your app says it's in store. I can't find this title. I figured she'd just go over to the Criterion section and look in that letter and be like, oh, yep, it's here, or no, it's not here. She went through, and our Criterion section isn't gigantic, but she went through every single title. She was flipping through them all, talking with me, being super nice. She went to a couple standee things that were around. She went to the regular DVD, Blu-ray section. She was flipping through them all. Like, I multiple times was like, I'm sorry. I know you got a job to do, and I'm not trying to, like, you're good. And she went through everything. And I don't know, customer service like that really stands out to me. And it was, I thanked her, I don't know how many different times, but man, she dug. It can't, there's no way it was in the store. She looked through so much stuff. It was very, very cool of her. So I appreciate it. But so the one that was not there that they were able to set up with free delivery to my house was Clute. So Donald Sutherland and Jane Fonda, I believe. I heard some recommendations on that, kind of a thriller movie. I don't know a lot about it, so I'm not going to say too much so I don't embarrass myself, but was looking forward to checking that one out. So it already says it's shipped, so hopefully I'll have it in the next week or so. And then the other one that I picked up when I walked in was the 4K of The Princess Bride. Always got to love that. I don't know. That's kind of a cool. I haven't opened it up yet, but I'm going to be honest though. That's one that I was not able to watch for a very long time, because when I was in college, every single dorm room or apartment we were hanging out, somebody had that movie playing, it seemed like, and I got kind of burnt out on it, but came back around. I think I don't know. Anyway, I like it again. Almost bought it so many times. The Blu-ray version of it held off, but figured it came out in 4K, so I went for it. So that was my Criterion haul for the month, was those 4 movies. So got those coming in. You have to let me know in the notes. I know a lot of you, I've been seeing your videos of what you've been picking up, but if there's anything super exciting that you grabbed from it, I'd like to see that. But all right, let's see here. What do we got? Yeah. Absolutely, Ryan. So, and I'm going to mute myself for a second. Pro tip, I'm not muting forgetting to mute yourself when you take a drink so people don't have to hear that. But like I said, I dry out talking like this, but yeah, absolutely. Me figuring that out. Like, so things don't, what? So Ryan, you don't want your comment to be up there for the next 20 minutes? Just kidding. Cal, Joan Crawford's a legend. I've heard that is such an amazing performance, and that is one that I am very much looking forward to getting into. I was joking around. I feel like I'm a bear getting ready to hibernate for winter. So we have very cold winters here. It gets dark early, it gets cold. There's a lot of times where in the Midwest here, where the weather is just bad, you don't want to go outside, and my viewing numbers go way, way up. So it's been bad this last month, but coming into winter here, I'm going to be watching a lot of movies, and I've been stockpiling through these sales. I feel like a bear, like building up my stockpile, make my way through the winter. So I'm going to probably be pumping the brakes a little bit on purchase, or I will be quite a bit. So hopefully that doesn't put anybody off, but going to be holding back on a lot of purchases. I'm not saying I'm not going to get anything, but going to be holding back and really digging into a lot of these that I've picked up that I have not watched yet, either for the first time or ones that I've seen that I just haven't seen in a long time, but like a rewatch, but digging back into these new purchases and not just having them sitting on the shelf. So Holland, Lethal Weapon 5, 6, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, you can make fun of me. I know the first 4. You can tease me if I'm oblivious to that or you're just joking around. So I know the first 4 for sure. Ryan. All right. Okay, let's see here. Just trying to hit the chat a little bit, but look at this guy being all live and stuff. What's up, Mel? Thank you for dropping in. You are so awesome. I loved watching your video. Okay, so I gotta say, your video you had the other day on the CRT TV VHS combo, I just had this like stinking feel. I felt so bad. It seems like there's so many of the videos you've had recently where you've been so excited about something and it goes wrong. And I was like, oh, and I even started commenting before, and I went back and edited it too, because I was like commented before the video was over, and then it finished up, and I saw that you were actually able to get it to work, and I felt so good. I was like, oh, I was gonna feel so horrible because it sucks so much to like be so excited for something, whether it's large, small, whatever. You're also excited to get this new toy in, and it's busted or it doesn't work, things like that. So I'm so glad that ended up working. So hopefully you're burning through some of those VHS tapes. Get some of those watched. Everybody's saying hi to Mel. Okay. Okay. Those were 2 I've been looking at. So I don't know about everybody else. I set some pretty strict limits on my movie buying and music buying budget for the month. And um, I'm mostly pretty good about sticking to that. Just so think it's so easy to get out of, or for me, it's so I'm hitting my microphone again. So like I said, I'm almost a pro here. Um, it's so easy for me to get carried away with that because there's so much stuff out there. So Criterion, I have such a long list on my wish list to take a look at. But I I try to really limit myself. So that's what's hard is there's so many really great ones to go out and look at and pick up, but to just say like, oh yeah, like this month I'm getting 2 and I end up with 4, but I didn't end up with 10. Not saying that there's anything wrong with it, but just with a lot of the other sales going on, I just knew like that was not in the cards for me this month. So those are one I've seen La Bamba before. Remember really and enjoying that. Watermelon Woman, I have not seen, but I've heard good things about it. So like I said, they're on my wish list. So maybe one of the next sales I'll get to see that. So or pick that up. So saying hi to Mel. Mel saying hi to everybody. Mel, you're so popular. I think you've didn't have a good look when I said this, but when I said it to you one time, I think when at the meetup, but I cannot not smile when your laugh comes out. So it's not a bad thing. I love that. There's like a couple people that are just like so positive. You hear their laugh or you hear their positive voice that it brings a smile to your face. I think Mika and Kira too. Listen to their podcast. I know nobody can be like positive all the time, but it just seems like I don't know. I love hearing that positive energy from people, and they're not the only ones. You and them are not the only ones. So not excluding anybody. Tiana saying hi. She's just so positive too. Okay, let's see here. Wow, thank you so much. I'm honestly completely blown away. I have anybody tuning in, so let alone commenting. So thank you very much for jumping in here. Um, oh, okay. So maybe you're gonna not feel great about me again. I have not seen that show, so I'm not saying I don't like it. I have not seen that show. I know of it. There's a lot of times I cancel our live TV streaming services because we just don't use them a lot, and I kind of cut back. Like if we're not really watching it, why pay for it? So pretty much, so my son's out of the house. He's kind of doing his own thing. My wife and daughter, they're pretty much Netflix, and they're good. If we have the live TV stuff going on, they'll do Hallmark Channel too. But pretty much Netflix, they're happy. Um, so there's a lot of times it kind of depends on if I want to have it, and it sometimes boils down to sports is the big thing. So if not, I cancel it. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to look if is it on any streaming services? I have a few of them right now. I might be cutting back because I'm taking a hard look at what I have in the collection and I haven't watched streaming services and how much I'm actually using them. And if I just need to cut some of them off, not saying I'll never get them again, but to hit the things I haven't seen or just whittle down the streaming services and use them more and then maybe cancel those and pick up a couple that I've canceled and go back to them. So thank you, Cal. You know, it's funny. It doesn't seem like it should be that big of a deal. But I know me being pretty new to starting to make videos and stuff like that, it's a feeling sometimes it's like, okay, is that how you need to reach people? Buying things and showing those. I'm not going to say I don't like watching those videos. I do. It's kind of like window shopping with somebody and I'm just not spending the money. So I enjoy watching them, but I know that just got to be selective on how I spend the cash. And thank you for making an exception for me and letting me stay in the community. You're awesome. I love your sense of humor too. There's so many people, like most of the time when I feel a little more comfortable, I get kind of sarcastic and dry humor a little bit. So some of those humors carry over well to me as well. So there might be sometimes I'm like, are you being serious? Or are you joking? And then I figure it out. But story of my life. Oh, probably the things going wrong in your videos. No, there's been so many. There was one, I'm going to say it wrong, but it was like the Chucky doll. I felt so bad for you that you got in and you had that look of excitement, like a kid on Christmas, and then somebody crushed it. So hopefully you have better luck in the new year. That'll be your resolution. No more wrecked packages. Tell your mailman to be nice to you when they're dropping them off. My next Criterion purchase will be, what they're doing. Oh, okay. So, okay. I saw that was on Netflix. I think it's still on there. I have not watched it yet, but I've heard so many good things about it. So that is definitely so many good things to watch and only so many hours in the day. I have a bad memory and I forget about them, but that's one I definitely want to check out. 10 Criterion. Was that a shot, Corey? No, Ryan. I love watching your videos, and that's not a shot at all. And believe me, I've had a 10 Criterion month before, just not this month. You got to pick and choose, man. Pick and choose. There's some months it's doable, and some months it's like, maybe not this time around. Not saying I was good with everything else, but like I said, if we end up getting to them or not, I guess it doesn't matter to me. I love chatting with you guys. So like I have some stacks of some stuff. Believe me, I'm not saying I'm good with money and you're not. I've spent it in other ways probably. So Johnny, same here, Allie. Yeah, I'm officially done unless I walk in the store again. But I think it is actually done now. Well, no, is it the 5th? I'm done now. I have the one coming in the mail. Like I said, Clute is coming in the mail to me, so I'm ready for that to come in. Looking forward to it. So no, absolutely not. Okay, so I love it. So that's what's funny with listening to everybody. You can hear like there's so many times that I'll be working and I'll be listening to YouTube videos and I'm not able to watch them. So I do the YouTube premium or whatever, where you can just shut down your phone and save your battery and not have the video on. There's sometimes I got to turn it on to see what people are showing, but there's a lot of times it's almost like a podcast where you can just kind of listen along and see it. When you started talking about the TV, I had to turn the screen on and see what you were facing on that one. But I love hearing. It's like hanging out somewhere and you hear a voice and you're like, hey, there's a friend I know that's you're talking. No, not cackling at all. I love your laugh. It truly brings a smile to my face. I love it. So, yep, Mel, it's on. Oh, okay. I will. I was gonna get a pad of paper and a pen. I'm gonna come back to that, Johnny. I'll have to check that to go look at it on Hulu. I do have Hulu right now. Yay, sports. That's what my son always made jokes about that. He always played soccer, and and my daughter does too a lot. But he always joked about it because he loved playing it, and even my daughter too. They love playing the sports, but they're not big watchers of sports, and that's not a bad thing. But it's just he always would make the joke of "Yay, sports ball," and yeah, it's kind of like that. So I'm not a diehard fan, but it's just one of those things that I can throw on and sometimes not have to devote my entire attention to, and just have the noise or the busyness on. So if I'm keeping anybody from the what is it, Packers and Chiefs playing football tonight, I apologize. I'm sure you can have it on and check the scores. So, yep. Yeah, sports. Yeah. So you probably said that before I said it myself, but yeah, he would always say, "Yay, sports ball." Always made me laugh. Shoot a touchdown. Yep. Yep. Vin, thank you very much. I love seeing your videos too. So I appreciate you jumping in and saying hey. And hi to Jeff and Cal. Sarcasm, much like. Yep, absolutely. We'll get along fine. I know, right? Mel, hopefully hopefully you don't work from home and you run into your post person, man or woman, whatever, that are dropping things off and have a confrontation. That package probably did go through lots of different hands before it got to that person. So just saying, show a little sympathy. Maybe they didn't do it. Or they just know you and they decide they're going to drop kick it to your front door. You never know. Foosball is the devil. Yep. Good Adam Sandler movie. Yeah. Saying hi to people. Yeah. No, no, you're cool. No, absolutely. It's just fun talking to people and dropping comments. So appreciate you dropping in and dropping some comments in here. So really appreciate it. Okay. I'll take note of that, Johnny. Mel would be sitting there waiting for him, looking through the little mail slit and waiting for them to come up here. So you mean the caveman? Oh, I'm trying to put it. Foosball water bucket. Yep, that's right. All right. So we got through some of those chats. If people are still hanging with me, I will let's see, we'll do a couple movies and we can do a couple records. So I can officially say I've talked about music on my channel and music is in my name. So I can actually feel a little bit vindicated for having that. So I'm just joking. So a couple I got caught off guard that came in the mail a little early. Vin had posted on Instagram a picture of getting his in, and I was like, I better go check my mailbox. And sure enough, they were waiting there. And I know Ryan sounds like he got them in too, but ordered from Groove. There was the 4Ks of the way I go the wrong way each time. The Wailing, and how about I put my hand right in the wrong spot? The Man from Nowhere. There we go. Why is it so hard to do it backwards in a camera? Both of those I have never seen, but I heard nothing but good things. That was, I believe it was on Ryan's channel, Movies with Ryan. They had an Asian cinema night where they were talking, and I know Vin was on that discussion. I want to say Dell was. I'm completely blanking who was all on there, but I know these two were talked about. They said a lot of great things about them. I'm looking forward to seeing them. The Wailing, it sounded like might be a multiple watch one to really let everything sink in. So looking forward to that, but we'll do that. Oh, you know what I didn't even think of? I had a couple codes here, movie codes. So here, get ready. If anybody wants a code, maybe you already have it or you don't want it, but I have a couple Christmas movie codes. So the first one, if you need to get up in a browser or something like that, it'll be in movie. The next one will be in Movies Anywhere. So we'll do a Christmas story. So here in a second, if anybody wants a Christmas story, I'll put that digital code up there. So get ready for that. The next one was The Mist. There was a really good sale on this. I have not gotten into it yet. I heard a lot of good things. I heard the ending was a gut punch. So I got to make sure I'm in a good space for that, I guess. I don't know what all is going on with that, but couple other classics that I upgraded on the sales. Home Alone, that was a fun one. So Macaulay Culkin was getting in the news a little bit with his star. Got Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Remember having fun with that one. Upgraded it. I think I had that one on. That one was a DVD, I believe. But yeah, a lot of these, like I said, a lot of people have showed these, or nothing big and crazy, but there were so many sales going on. I grabbed Knives Out. I saw that one just once. So hopefully it'll be good on a rewatch. It'll be a little different knowing everything that happens with it. But another one, I can't believe I have actually not watched this one yet. I had 4 different steelbooks for this movie, and I ended up either giving or selling them to people. And I was not making any money, so don't think I'm scalping them or anything like that. So I just did it for cost. But the sale went on and I got John Wick 4. So I really like that one, or the first 3. First one was probably my favorite out of them so far, but have not watched that yet. So I can't believe I haven't gotten to it. Another one I showed on Instagram. I'm pretty excited that the Steelbook kind of came back in stock. I don't know if it went out of stock, whatever. I couldn't get it for a little while, but Walmart, but it was RoboDoc. I talk about this on KB's live stream, where that was a childhood movie that I had a lot of fun with. I got to get that sticker off of there. Ryan was giving me some pointers of taking stickers off. Yes, I'm an old man complaining about stickers on my stuff, but anyway, I'm looking forward to getting into that and seeing a little bit of that documentary of the making of RoboCop. That was a fun one, and I'm not stacking anything on there, so let's see where we're at. All right. I don't know if anybody needs a Christmas story. Maybe throw in the note. If you end up redeeming any of these, maybe just throw a comment in that you got it. If nothing else, I know just to get rid of the sheet, or if nobody ends up using it, I'll try to give it away to somebody else. But I know these are pretty common movies, but sometimes you don't have all of them. But here, we'll try that. Can we get that in there? Focus. There we go. Come on. It was focused for a second. I'm sorry, guys. So somebody see if you want a Christmas story. There you go on Movies Anywhere. Maybe just throw something in the chat if you end up using it, just so I know I can toss that sheet. And if you don't, I'll see if anybody else wants it. Let's see what we've got here. You are going to love The Mist. I've heard that, Johnny, but I heard that ending. Don't spoil it for anybody. I love going in not knowing, but man, I've heard there's a gut punch waiting for you at the end of that one. So looking forward to that. Holland. Yep. Fun ending. I don't know. I heard it's good, but I heard it can be kind of rough. So that's cool. That's nice to hear. So that's a good thing. Sarah, I'm totally fine. That's awesome. Stay that way. It's hard. I believe me. I work on it all the time. Mika, I definitely recommend The Wailing. Great film. Okay. I'll put that high on my list. There's so many. Like I said, I'm stocking up for winter. I got my movies picked out for the next 3 months, I think. So Stickers Are the Devil. Yes. Okay, Dell. Where did I just put that movie? That was one of them. I was just messaging Ryan about the other night. So on The Wailing, it's only on the slip. So it's not printed on the sleeve. It's an actual sticker. Why can I not do the right? It's an actual sticker somebody put on there. Why? I don't know why, but he gave me some pointers. I haven't gotten to it yet, but I'm going to try it out and try to get that off of it. Not being all weird, but I honestly it doesn't bug me as much, but I could even do without the whole like giving quotes about how awesome the movie is. I wouldn't mind just having the artwork or the original movie poster. So on that, like on the case, it doesn't have like the darkly unsettling, masterfully told. I guess it's fine, but I don't know why. I could do without as well. All right. Johnny, the ending is rough. I'll admit that. Okay. All right. So Dell, the cry movies don't scare me, but I just got to get myself prepped for them and know what I'm getting into. So I will make sure I'm in the right space for that. So, all right, we'll do a couple records. So I copied Ryan. I posted on here. Ryan, Movies with Ryan, you're officially an influencer. CD that I wore through in the 90s in college, I believe it was. And I saw you grab the vinyl of it. I had to get it. Matchbox 20, yourself or someone like you. As I hit my microphone again. This was a good one. And I didn't realize when I bought this one, if I can get it out here without destroying it. It's a nice, pretty red vinyl on that one. I'm not too stuck up on that. I could just do the regular old vinyl, but that one had some pretty red vinyl with it. So I actually sat down with a beverage last night and listened to that, and I enjoyed that very much. So I was glad Ryan threw that out there. So when I was actually at Barnes and Noble picking up those last two Criterion movies that I was not going to buy, I looked through their vinyl section, saw it there, and remember seeing Ryan's post and was like, yeah, that was a fun one. I liked going through that. So I did that one. All right. Another recent one I grabbed coming out of the 90s as well. A recent one I grabbed was, oh, this is going to be so shiny on the Smashing Pumpkins, Siamese Dream. Sorry, that's horrible. It's a very, very, as I hit my microphone again. You guys, I said I'm pretty much pro at this point. So Siamese Dream. This was a 90s album that I very, very much enjoyed. If you're a 90s kid like me and you liked Smashing Pumpkins, let me know if you have a favorite song off that album. There's so many good ones. This was not a new purchase because KB brought it up there night on his conversation. We were talking about Pink Floyd. I got Pink Floyd. It's in a case here, so sorry, or sleeve. Pink Floyd Metal. That's a good one. If you like Pink Floyd, it's a little different. Their early years are way different than their later ones, but Fearless on Metal. I like that one quite a bit if you want to try it out. So, all right, I'm going to pick up here real quick and see if anybody else is dropped in. Gugan, yep. I think Ryan threw out Low Heat with a hair dryer. Luckily, I have a wife and a daughter, so hair dryers are not a problem to come by. And Gugan, he mentioned as well, so I'll have to take a look at that. Trini, Culture Trini. Trini, how you doing, man? Love to see. Thank you so much for dropping in here. That's awesome. What's up? You have to drop something in here. What's been going on, man? Seen some posts from you, and I don't know. Do you ever jump on any of these things? You have to let me know. No pressure, but I'd love to talk with you on movies sometime. You seem to have a similar taste and a great collection, and I don't know, be a cool guy to hang out and talk to. So. Hey, that's right. Okay. We'll leave the quotes on there. It saves a job for somebody. So I appreciate that. We'll go with that. Saying hi to Trini. I need to pick up Siamese Dream. It's a good one. Do you like it? Do you like Smashing Pumpkins? The first time I saw them, so my tale of going back and figuring out, and I apologize if you can hear my dog barking. The rest of my family is playing with him and I can hear him barking. So if you can hear it, I apologize. But you ever go back and like either watch a movie or like remember a concert you've gone to and you didn't realize somebody that was in that now is famous, big, everything, and you didn't pay enough attention to them. So in Des Moines, Iowa, oh gosh, it had to have been around 1990. Some friends and I, we decided we were going to go see the Red Hot Chili Peppers in concert. So opening up for Red Hot Chili Peppers was Smashing Pumpkins and Pearl Jam. And I kid you not, I remember making fun of their names. We watched them, but did not give the full attention. And oh man, if I had a time machine, I'd go back and smack my young self and say, pay attention to these two bands, because they ended up being some of my 90s favorites. Like I said, we didn't skip them, but I know we weren't giving the full attention to them. But man, yeah, I even do that with movies where you go back and watch one and you're like, somebody huge is in that. And you're like, I didn't realize that person was in there. So that's a good one. Hey, guy, I guess maybe I can open up a new income stream. Maybe. Just joking. I don't mean to keep doing that. I talk a lot with my hands. So if you hang out with me, if you're like in person, there's a good chance if you're talking with me long enough, I will hit you with one of my hands because I If you tie my hands together, I probably couldn't talk. Today, yep, that's a great one. Yep, Metal's a great album too. Today, I always love Today. I don't know why. I was listening back through it just a little bit ago, but Mayonnaise is one that I really like too, or Disarm. Those were both really good ones off of Smashing Pumpkins, that album too. Can you imagine? Yep, saying hi. So I have the box set coming in, the LP box set of Melancholy and Infinite Sadness. So I have that one coming here pretty soon. Maybe I'll have to do an unboxing of that if anybody be interested in it. But it's looks like it's a chunky one. It's more than just a gatefold album. It's a box. So I really like that one. I don't know why. I just gravitate more towards Siamese Dream, but I do definitely like Melancholy as well. Yes, I have. Caveman. Yep, I like all of those. So complaint rock bands. So I have a vinyl album of Candlebox. It's their debut album. I like that one quite a bit. Actually, I was just listening through some of those. I'll go through these phases and I go back through my like 90s alternative, the complaint rock bands that you're talking about. But I was just listening to Candlebox and Seven Mary Three, if you ever heard of them. So the whole Cumbersome, I think Seven Mary Three, that was their big song that was on the radio. But oh, duh. Okay. I apologize. I told you I'm going to blank out here. You say Seven Mary Three right there. So yes, Candlebox, Seven Mary Three, Collective Soul. I liked all of those through the 90s. So give me about 20 minutes and I'll repeat back to you and say like, hey, Caveman, have you ever heard of Candlebox, Seven Mary Three, or Collective Soul? Maybe you've never heard of them. I'm good at doing that. Saying hi. It was awesome, Johnny, but I wish like I tell you, I remember it, but we were being stupid teenagers at the time. And man, I would, if I had a time machine, that'd be fun to go back and actually focus and watch that. But it was cool to see, but I was not fully attentive at that point. So, Texas Houston Eagles. Oh, okay. I gotcha. Yep. Oh, okay. You have it. Okay, cool. So you know what I'm talking about. I haven't dug into it yet. It's supposed to be coming. I have to check the tracking, but I'm supposed to be getting it here pretty soon. I have not. It was actually one that I. So the funny story is, I bought that one before. Was getting all excited. I think it was before I got into the Bluetooth community a lot, and I was posting some pictures of having it, and a buddy of mine was like, he's like, dude, that is completely my favorite album of all time. I'll give you this. And he threw out a number and it was something stupid. And I was like, no, man. I was like, I like that album. I don't love it that much. And I can still listen to it. It's not like it wasn't on streaming at the time. I mean, it still is. And I knew it was during the whole pandemic thing. And the presses were not putting out records. They couldn't keep up with demand or things weren't getting out. And I knew it'd get back out again sometime. So I said, just pay me cost. You can have it. So I had it in my hand, never opened it, never got to look into it, but I know he enjoyed it. And it took me a few more couple years later. Now it's coming, but I know he enjoyed it. So that was fun. He got to do that, but yeah. So second time purchasing it, first time I'll be able to open it and take a look at it and listen to it. Okay, Del, what do we got here? My favorite example of going back. Oh yeah, yep, absolutely. Yeah, I've gotten that so many times. So I had that just recently. I rewatched Split, and I always say her name wrong, but it's Anna Taylor Joy that's in that. And I had seen the movie before, but it was before I knew who she was, and then now she's in quite a few different things. But yeah, it's kind of crazy when you go back and take a look at it and see it. So, all right, what we got here? So sorry guys, I'm still jumping through here. Thanks for hanging in with me. Like I said, surprised even one person showed up, and you guys are still hanging with me after all this time. I really appreciate it. I have. So that's one thing with streaming has wrecked me with names of songs. I cannot name you a song that I've heard, but I have listened to that because there was a couple shows on in my wife's car. She likes listening to Sirius XM radio. I just stream everything, so I don't know. I just use my phone, but there was a couple shows where they had Wolfgang kind of taken over for the weekend and playing a lot of the album and playing other things that influenced them or him or things he liked. And so I did get to hear it. That's what I mean. I'm terrible with names and stuff, but there's the one, it's like a crab or something on the front of it. But yes, I have heard that. You ain't never met Martha. Yep. So we got the Coming to America quotes coming. Yeah. Yes, Johnny. Okay. All right. We got through some of those. So did anybody, I didn't even see, did anybody ever use the a Christmas story code? I don't care if you did or not. I hope somebody did. So if you throw that in there, just let me know. I'll shred that thing up so I don't try to give it away to somebody else and then they. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I was talking about as I'm like knocking things on the floor. A package getting kicked onto my driveway, like literally is barely off my driveway I had a notification that something was delivered and I went out, opened my door and there was nothing there. And I'm like, that's weird. And then I went out to the app and it shows a picture sometimes where they leave the package and it literally was like barely off my driveway. And there's like a sidewalk that curves all the way around the garage to our front door. And I'm not blaming them. This has got to be a crazy time of year for delivery people, but I think they opened the door and just like kicked the thing out. But anyway, open this up. I think I know what it is. I'm kind of worried it's not in a box though, so hopefully it's good. But this is, if I think it's what I think it is. And the thing didn't open up. Okay, seriously. I tore along the line and it's not going. All right. I was kind of nervous it was in a box. Hopefully it's in a good space here, but it's just in a package. But this was one of my Black Friday purchases. Looks like it's good, but The Twilight Zone complete series on Blu-ray. Nice old chunky box there. That'll get me going for a little while. I remember watching reruns of that and having fun. So look at that. All those discs just stacked up in there. Looks like it's in good shape. I just hate when you get a big old plastic box like this and they don't put it in a box wrapped up and it's just in a bubble mailer. Looks like it came through okay, but yep. So that's one of my pickups, The Twilight Zone. Let me know if you ever watch that, if you like it, don't like it. Or if you don't like it, you don't have to let me know. But so that was one that I got. But it was something, I can't remember what I paid for it, but it was great. It was this, I've been watching it for a long time. I wanted it for quite a while. And it dropped to a pretty good price. So I went, well, I'm legit then. I'm legit. I've forgotten something. I've hit my microphone multiple times and I've dropped something. So what else do I need? I'll work on it. Let me know if there's anything, other boxes I need to check. I'm pretty sure I can do it before the end of the stream here. If people are still putting up with me. I picked it. Okay, cool, Steve. Yeah. So what did you think of it? Have you dug into it yet? Have you opened it up? It looks like, I can't tell if they're all on different little flap things for the disc, but there's quite a few of them stacked up in there. So hopefully everything's cool, but let me know what you think if you got into it. But I'm pretty excited about taking a look at it. I remember watching those films. They'd freak me out as a kid. I'd love to see Twilight Zone. Never watched it, but it looks, yeah, they're fun. Fun science fiction. If you like the science fiction movie, sorry, I keep on messing with these cords. Growing up, I've said it a few times, and even now, I love science fiction or like some of the weird off the wall stuff. And Twilight Zone definitely gave some crazy stuff when I was growing up, and I haven't watched it for years, but there was a deal that came around. I just thought I will do that. Caveman. I missed my calling. I'm just going to start doing that. ASMR. Just going to open packages, hit my microphone, and drop things and see how many people I have following me. Before I know it, I'm going to have tons and tons of followers, but maybe not people I want following me. I don't know. Zone is phenomenal. Yeah. Ooh, that pull tab from him. Yeah. Those were crazy. I always heard about those packages, and then I bought quite a few things from Hamilton Books, but people would joke about, oh, you're getting the ARC package from Hamilton Books. And it kind of does look like that. You got the big old cardboard and the sides are coming up. And that is such a unique package. But man, they got something figured out because they're packed in there great. And I've never had knock on something. I've never had a problem with something I've gotten from them. So they got something figured out with it. Haven't watched any yet, but I've seen them all before. Oh, you've seen them all. So I can't say that I've seen them. I've seen a lot of them, but I know for a fact there's a ton I have not seen from that series. So looking forward to, that's going to be a lot of cold winter nights movies, or throwing in some of those shows, just mixing it in once in a while and seeing it. But KB, good evening, Corey. Sup, party people? How's the stream? Hey, you know what? People are still here and I'm still talking. So it's a success. I was, you probably missed it, but I said I was all super confident and feeling good about it. And then it went under 5 minutes on my countdown. And then I did the little countdown with the music before the video. And I think my heart rate kept on going a little bit faster and a little bit faster each time as those things started ticking down. So, but no, going good. Love talking with everybody. Everybody's been super interactive. So I appreciate that because you're helping me cover up for everything that I'm forgetting. So I hate those TV packages. Yeah, I'll have to see with this one. It doesn't look horrible, but it almost looks like it has, I always go the wrong way when I'm trying to show it it looks like it's got different flappers there, but man, there's a lot of discs in there. More than it looks like, but I don't know if it says. 24 discs. There we go. 24 Blu-rays in there. There's a lot of discs in there. A lot of hours of entertainment. Can't say I don't have anything to watch. Saying hi to KB, the king of conversation. Okay, that is odd. Yes, I agree. KB, that was, like I said, one of the early on Blue Tubers I saw was you, and it was my bad memory. I can't remember which one it was, but it was a very, very early conversation. And then I just kind of started going back through those. I love hearing them. I can just sit and listen to people talk about movies all the time. Saying hi to KB. KB has been awesome. He has been very helpful and been supportive and helping me out when I'm asking questions, and even when leading up to this stream. So I very, very much appreciate it. So discs should never be stacked again. I agree. That's what I'm interested to see when I open this up. If there's discs on top of each other, or if they're all on an individual little arm flap, whatever you want to call it. I'll have to see when I open that up. Maybe I'll do that when I'm talking. People, and I'm going to hit my microphone again, so Caveman will like that. There you go, Caveman. Maybe I'll open this up while I'm talking. See if I can do a couple things at the same time. Cal, what is my favorite genre? I feel like I always try to take an easy route out with some of these. It's hard for me to say like, oh, this is my favorite. It really honestly depends on my mood at the particular time. Because there's sometimes I was just talking to you know, about movies earlier that make you cry. They're heavy crier movies, and I don't mind them, but it's like I got to be in the right space for that. Not to sound weird, but like I need to be in the right mood to see that. So, but I got to say that I love sci-fi movies. Have always been up there. That's just a childhood favorite. Um, Science fiction, love it. Thrillers, I like. I've gotten into about horror movies too, but like more thrillers or crime movies. So I know I kind of went all over the place there, but oh boy, this is interesting. So, dang. Oop, do I got a loose disc in there? I do. Oh no. No, everything's fine. I had the dreaded loose disc. Look at this sucker. This is the Twilight Zone. So there's individual like flappers, but each of those are like at least double stacked in there. Oh, they were just flapping. There we go. So they got those swinging arms, but each of those are like 2 discs deep, every single one of them. And each of these fold out from the other way. That is interesting. Somebody figured something out there to get them in there, but that's a lot of discs. 24. Yep. So we got stacked discs, but I'm sure it'll be fine. But I agree. I prefer them not to be. What do we got here? Catch up here. Saying hi to everybody. I am watching some Christmas movies. So I don't only watch Christmas movies this month, but I was just talking earlier about Christmas Vacation and A Christmas Story. And you got to throw in, you know, your your Christmas staples like Die Hard and Reindeer Games and all that fun stuff. So I'm sure I'll get some of those in there and see if there's any new ones. I kind of liked. I only have the digital version of Violent Night, but I'll probably watch that one again. I had fun with that last year. So we'll see. Corey is doing unboxing. Okay, okay, we're talking about a night of first. That's my first unboxing. I don't know if you can legitimately say that was a good one, but I did it. So you got to see it. Sorry. Hopefully that wasn't too loud. I don't know how loud close I was holding it to the microphone. I'll just sit there and yep, no, we're not going to do that. This is Caveman. How are you? Well, no, it's all right. I don't mind you popping in late. It's very nice to see you saying hi. Very cool. Miss Caveman. How about music genre? If I could talk. So again, not copping out. Same way, depends on my mood. I'm all over the place, but I was born in the 70s, 80s, 90s kid. So like 80s and 90s was my whole like school, college. So there's a lot of pop, rock, alternative, things like that I will kind of gravitate towards. I was talking on KB's conversation that one of my big comfort bands is Pink Floyd. That's like kind of a chill out listen to music, but I will listen to anything. I won't say no until I, tried it out. Ryan was giving me some suggestions that were out of my wheelhouse here recently, and I'm happy for that. I love getting that. Break me out of my little rut that I'm in sometimes. So, but I'll listen to pop, rock, alternative, rap, country, whatever. I mean, blues, jazz, old, new. But it just depends on my mood. I'm kind of finicky with that. I go all over the place. So thrillers underrated. Yes. I love them. It's one of those that it's kind of an art to have a thriller where you can really scare somebody and not without showing a lot of graphic. I mean, there's some of those movies where they're not showing you a lot, but it still can get you on the edge of your seat. And I don't know, that's an art form. I love that. Showing some love to Mrs. Cave or Miss Caveman. Hey, Reed. Hey, Johnny. Yeah, I know, Cal. just watched Violent after the first time and enjoyed it. Yeah, you know, I'm not saying it's gonna win an Oscar, but I had fun with it, and I think that was one of those they had like an early release for, where you could buy it, and we almost were going to go out to the theater, and there was enough of us in the house that we're going to watch it anyway. It was cheaper to just to buy it for like whatever it was, 19 or 20 bucks before they had the physical out of it, and we did that as a movie night at home, made homemade pizza and popcorn, and just hung out and watched that. And some of us liked it, some of us didn't, but it was a fun time. So. All right. Oh, I went backwards. Say hi to Ryan. Okay. Let's get some more movies here real quick. I'll run through some. I don't know how long I was going to go. I appreciate all of you that are still in here. If you get to a point, I'll trust some people. Ryan, Johnny, any of you. If there's a point where you're like, Corey, let's wrap her up. You will not hurt my feelings. I had nothing going on tonight, and so that's why I jumped on here and was going to go. And I figured if nobody was on here, I'd do a little short video to record and then jump off. But if people were here, I'd kind of talk as long as people were tolerating me. So I'll just kind of play it by ear here. But so and I've actually never seen these, but I've heard so many good things. But I've not seen any of the Creed movies, but they had cheap 4Ks of Creed 2 and Creed 3. So I am really looking forward to. I like the original Rockies a lot, so I'm really looking forward to digging into those. It was kind of awesome seeing those going on such a big sale. Let's go to some suggestions. I don't even know if everybody's still in here because I've been blabbering so long, but one of them, Tony, I know he said he had to turn in for the night, but he was talking about it on one of his streams. One I picked up, I'm going to watch here soon for kind of a community recommendation movie. Like I did that later video was Marrowbone. So you got that Anna Taylor-Joy, you got Mia Goth, you know, kind of before they were really huge and then everything, but heard some good things. That was one I picked up. Like I said, I've heard other people talking about it, but Tony was really saying some positive things about it on one stream I was watching. So I did grab that one. One that I heard Mika and Kira talking about, I believe it was High Five with Dave on the 4K Lowdown. I believe it was his show. And then I know later I heard, I don't know if it was Anthony or Brad talking about it on one of their streams, but I also grabbed Green Room. Sounded that was pretty good. And I got a good deal on that. So I grabbed Green Room. One from my buddy from across the pond. Got Paul from Magpie Movies. He was telling me about another one that was The Wave. And this had a nice little lenticular, if you can see that, but little said inspired by true events. I'm assuming it's like a tsunami or something like that. But yeah, got a nice little lenticular. I was happy about that. It was pretty cool. The Wave, that one coming up. And then one I've heard a lot of people talk about, but Alan, Pop's Movie Dungeon, I think he was showing, he had the nice lenticular set of it. I did not get that one because it was kind of a limited set, but got a nice little side loader of Wolf Creek. Sounded interesting. I actually got Wolf Creek 2 from Hamilton Books really cheap, but this one was like a nice, I'm not going to be able to get it out now because I'm showing people on camera, but it's a nice little side loader box thing. But anyway, Wolf Creek, got that one coming up. Looking forward to that. Heard the dude, and that is crazy. So that's fun. And sticking with some of these thriller type movies, I need to get better about writing down who gives me recommendations, or I hear somebody talking about it. So I apologize if somebody talked to me about this one. I cannot remember, but one of them was The Skeleton Key with Kate Hudson. Never saw it. I heard there was a big fancy set that came out for it, but it was out of my range. This one was pretty cheap for the Blu-ray, so I thought I'd go with that. Another upgrade I got from the sale was Goodfellas. It's classic. Good one. I had the Blu-ray of that. I think I had the DVD and Blu-ray, but the 4K went on a pretty good sale, so I got that one. Evil Dead Rise. I've heard mixed things, but I've heard some positives, so some mixed. I think Anthony and Allie, I think you guys are conflicting on this one. I think Anthony said, yeah. Allie said it was pretty good. Don't listen to him. Watch it. So looking forward to that one. I got it either way, so I'll be watching it. This one I had a lot more fun with than I thought that would. I had no desire to go see it in the theater, but had another really great sale Black Friday. But Dungeons and Dragons, thought it was fun enough to buy and watch that one. Of course, I had to grab National Lampoon's Vacation. We'll do one more before I jump back in the comments here real quick. And I did Super Mario Brothers, the movie. So I had already watched this on, I think it was Peacock. They had it. Watched it already. I was unsure, but then it was like $9 or $10 at Walmart, and didn't get the slip. That's okay though. I got the movie, so that was fun enough. It was fun going through that one. So, all right, I know now I've fallen behind. I need to get better at figuring out how to star these so I can jump back in. Johnny, keep it going, Corey. I'm going to stop this train. I'm not going to stop this train. I'm good at reading things incorrectly too. So as long as you're up for me reading things incorrectly, hitting the microphone, dropping things, and misquoting movies, we'll keep going for a little bit. We'll do that. Holland, Maribone is good. Thanks, Tony. Oh, okay. So did you get the recommendation from Tony as well? Or at least that's how I did. I know I heard him talking about it actually a couple different times. I'm like, I don't know. When you hear somebody mention a movie, sometimes once it's good enough, but apparently I got a thick skull, and once in a while it takes a few times to smack it across my head. But I hear somebody multiple times bring up a movie. I'm like, okay, I just need to buy the thing and take a look at it. So I think Maribone was one of those. So yeah, we enjoyed it. Nice way to relax on a Sunday night talking about movies. Cool. Reed's got to say about Maribone is great. That's a Tony recommendation. Haha. Yep. So a lot of other people probably heard him say it too. But like I said, I know he brought it up a couple times, and there's just some people. I should just take a lot of people's just word when they say it one time, just go, but I only can buy so much. There's the budget only goes so far, or at least what I give myself for a budget anyway. And I try to stick with that. And like I said, you start hearing somebody repeat the same movie a couple different streams, and you need to take a look at it. But I'm doing the same comments again. Creed is awesome trilogy. Okay, awesome. Thanks, Del. It's one of those that I went for a long time where it's not like I had anything against a lot of movies, but there was like so many that were coming out in the theaters that I used to go out in the theater all the time. So before streaming, probably before kids, I loved going to the theater. I'd go by myself. I didn't care. I'd go. And there were like so many that would, if you didn't catch them the first run, we had a couple like old rundown theaters that they'd get the second run movies, or after they'd done their route there, they'd go to the second run movie and they'd have them for like $1. They'd have like nights for $1. You could go watch these movies. And there's so many movies that I saw like multiple times because of that. Kind of like now streaming where you'd watch the favorite over and over again, or got to see a bunch of movies. But that kind of went away. There were so many of the theaters that closed, and we have there's so few compared to what we had at that time. And there's so many movies that just escape me, and then I just kind of forget about them. And so no, I'm looking forward to checking those out. Green Room is great if you like. Okay, Blue Ruin. I'll have to remember that one as well. But I apologize if Brad, if you were the one that brought it up. I think it was on one of your streams. You guys were going through a bunch of movies, and there's sometimes I'm listening to it and I kind of miss who says it, and I'm just like, oh, I just need to write this down and listen or take a look at it. But I know Mika and Kira brought it up, but I know I heard it later on one of your streams as you or Anthony, or I can't remember, or Pops or somebody said something about that one. But yeah, I'll have to get to that. One Mammoth song is okay. Good to know, guy. I'll have to go give that a listen. Heard great things about the Wave. Oh, cool. That was another one that I never heard of before. So, yeah, Paul, he gave me that suggestion. He was also the one that this is where I'm going to forget what I've talked about already tonight or not. But one I just recently watched that he threw out there was Emergency Declaration. That was another one that he suggested to me, and I enjoyed that one quite a bit. It's a thriller, a Korean language, English subtitle. I don't want to give too much away, but it's a terrorist biovirus type of situation. But it was good. Yeah. Wolf Creek. Is that good or bad, Holland? I don't know if that's a, oh, you haven't seen it, or, oh, get ready for that movie. Allie, Wolf Creek movies are great. Okay. And I've heard there's a TV series as well. Like I said, I have not watched them at all. I have that first one in the box. I have the second one. I got just regular Blu-ray from Hamilton Books. I don't make fun of me. I don't know if there's any other movies in that series, but then I also heard there's a TV series that was out and about for that one. Wolf Creek is really strong too. Okay, cool. That is on my stack. I'm trying to gonna get to here pretty soon. Skeleton Key is not too okay. That's a raving. That is a shining recommendation there, Johnny. Not too bad. Honestly, I didn't pay very much for it, so as long as I'm mildly amused, I will be good with that. So, okay, enjoyed Rise. Good to know. Okay. The bonus feature. See, that's the thing. I need to dig into more. I like doing that, but I don't always get around to it because I have so many I want to watch. But that is good to know. I'll mark that down to check out those bonus features. Rise is okay. Holland is coming out screaming. Go watch Rise. You've heard it here. Holland is saying everybody should see Evil Dead Rise. It is the best movie ever, is what Holland just said. I'm just kidding. It's okay. I've heard that too. I'm going to go into it with low expectations, not mean anything bad, but just I'm not really expecting a ton, just other than I got a nice, cheap 4K and I'll go in and I'll be entertained. That'll be a good popcorn movie night some night. Brad, he's funny. At least you waited for that. Yeah, I guess that's part of being on a budget. There's a lot of times that it looks like I know what I'm doing and I wait and get a good sale, but really most of the time it's just like, oh, I can't buy all this stuff and things slip by. And then some of these sales come around. Johnny, I did not pick up Oppenheimer and I have not seen it yet. And I want to see that. But honestly, though, I'm a little disappointed when I'm hearing that it's more of the courtroom personal life drama than the actual creation of the bomb. I don't know why that interested me more, but maybe that's not the case. I've just heard some things, and maybe that is good and worth taking a look at. But I've heard good things, but that's where I was a little thrown off. Where, well, first of all, the length. You hit 3 hours plus. I don't get to the theater a ton. If you go 3 hours plus, there's a lot of times where I'm not going to be in there for going to the theater. That's a rental or a purchase, or I can split it up or pause it whenever I want to and take a break. But what do you think about it? Did you see it? Did you pick it up? I can't remember. Don't hate me if I saw a video and you said I picked this up and I love it. I can't remember, but let me know what you thought about it. Yeah, Tony has mentioned it multiple times. He broke me down. Yeah, Tony breaking people down, making them buy movies. He's like that. I love Tony. He's a good guy. I think if you're a big fan of Evil Dead franchise, you might not love Evil Dead Rise, but as something. Okay, that's interesting. That makes me curious to watch it to see how it's different. But I'm going to be honest with you. The first Evil Dead, I'm not a big fan. I like Evil Dead 2 better than the first. So whether I make people mad about that, I like the second one better than the first. The third one, I almost feel like it's standalone. It's so much different and going more of a comedy route than the first two. I almost can look at that separate than those, whether that makes sense or not. But I had fun with it. I remember being in high school and going seeing it with buddies, and we just thought it was so funny. Had fun with it, but I almost it just feels so different than the first two. But that's cool. I'm interested to watch it now and see how different it goes with it. Okay, second for Blue Ruin. I need a pen. I know I'm going to go back and look at this stuff, but I meant to have a notepad and pen here with me, and I did not do that. Fail number 12 of the night, I guess. But wow, Brood of Ruin. Okay, a lot of love for Blue Ruin. Sounds like that's the next one I'm purchasing. Okay, wow, Blue Ruin it is. I need to remember that one. Okay, cool. The Wave is another great one. I love hearing other feedback on it too. White Broca. Caveman. Are you trying to be funny? When I say trying to be funny, are you being funny? Evil Dead Rise is a fun gore fest. Okay, see, that's all I need with it. I got it cheap enough. There's going to be a night where I'm just going to shut the brain off and make a big old bowl of popcorn and watch a gore fest. I think I'll be fine with that. All right. Sorry. I'm going to take a drink here. It's most I've talked probably 3. Most of the time I get told to shut up. I guess this way I don't have people telling me I can't talk anymore. Wolf Creek has 2 seasons and 2 movies. Okay, so only 2 movies. See, I wasn't sure. I have the 2 movies. I haven't watched them yet. I didn't know what they had there. So working on more. Okay. Holland, have you seen the shows? Do you just know that they exist, or have you watched them? I'm curious if you've seen them, what you think of them. Laren, holy shit, I grabbed my leg horse. Hey, Laren, that's all right, man. Thank you so much for dropping in. I was talking earlier about you. Watch the Time Crimes. Yeah, you gave me a good recommendation for that. That was trippy, man. But I'm glad. So the funny thing was, I went to go watch it, and I found I had it on my watch list in my Letterboxd account. But I did not know. I'm so glad I went in that not knowing anything. I think somebody in the past must have said something to me about it, because it's not one that I did not remember it. So, but I had it in my watch list or a watch later tagged on there. So, anyway, that was awesome. People don't mind subtitles. It's trippy. I don't want to say anything either, because I love you said no. I didn't even go watch the trailer. That's a good one. There's so many of those anymore. I guess I don't even like watching the trailers sometimes, but yeah, that was trippy. Get some love for Laren, saying hi to each other. Have to keep me in suspense. Oh, Johnny, come on, man. Evil Dead Ted is better than the first. Okay. Cool. It's fun to see where people lie on some of those things. Okay, don't hold it against me. I have not seen it. The 2013. I haven't seen it. There's so many movies people are like, how in the world have you not seen that movie? But there's just so many movies and only so many hours in the day. And then, like I said, my old man memory, I kind of forget about them sometimes. And if I don't have them marked or something, I just kind of travel on. So I'll have to go back and watch that one. I have not watched it. Saying hi. Blue Ruin is great. Blue Ruin. That's one I gotta remember from tonight, apparently. Favorite film from the year you were born? Well, can I call you Will? Sure. I don't care. I've been called worse things, Laren. Believe me, been called much worse. You can call me Wilk. From the year I was born. Was that Was Rocky the year I was born? That might be. I'm gonna cheat. I have to look up. I have to look up when Rocky came out because that's a good one. Okay. Yep. There we go. Rocky, 1976. And now you know how old I am. I'm an old man. So I would have to say I'd have to look and see what other ones, but that was one that popped in my head. I figured was right around that year. That's a that's a great one. That's a classic. I love that movie. It's the OJ edition. Yeah. Anyway, got it. Yeah. Dell, come on, man. I didn't read that out loud, but you're gonna make fun of me. It took me a second. I got her there. Saying hi to Laren. My earbuds are falling out. So sorry. I keep on playing with my ears. Oh, you guys. I love it. I've seen both Wolf Creek a while. Did watch season 1 of the show, and it's pretty good. Okay. I'll have to look to see even where you can find that. I don't even know if it's on any of the streaming channels or if it's something you got to buy or if it's in the US. Saying hi. Laughing at the jokes. I love that. Gizmo. Hey, man, just woke up, fell asleep in the middle of a film. Dude, I honestly have wondered if you even sleep. It's crazy some of the times you're streaming. So Gizmo, if you guys don't know Gizmo, you need to go out and check his channel out. He's an awesome dude. He let me go on a marathon stream with him and Anthony, and his good guy opening me up to some movies, getting some suggestions outside of my wheelhouse. I appreciate that. I've gotten a couple in, watched a couple, a few more I got on my watch list. Like I said, I kind of keep myself to a tight budget, and I got them on the watch list. Kind of watch, see if they go on sale. One of them that I have coming in. I know you said it wasn't your top one out of the list, but it kind of dipped in price. But them looked like a home invasion spooky thriller movie. So I'm looking forward to that one. You have a couple others I've been checking. They look like they're a little rough, man. I'll watch them. Like I said, keep an open mind, but there's a few brutal ones I think in there. But thank you so much for jumping in. That's awesome of you. I appreciate it. But if you don't know Gizmo, he's don't correct me if I'm wrong. It's Norway, I believe, but man, like 7 hours difference. So, dude, thanks for jumping in. And some of the hours I see you going, I don't know. I don't think you get as much sleep as I do, man. I think I'm a lot older than you, so I probably do require more. At least you get the humor, Johnny. Yep, absolutely. Okay, man, you got some good humor to you, bud. Evil Dead Rise is the first movie in the franchise that I liked enough to buy. Okay, cool. I like the different setting and the different story compared to the ones. Okay, cool. No, that's good to know. Well, I got it here. I'm like I said, I've heard enough good things where I knew when I dropped to like $9 or $10, whatever, I knew I was going to grab it. And you always see I know it's a very small part of it, but I've seen a couple teasers and you see the kind of the cheese grater scene and stuff. And I'm like, oh, that looks brutal. I'll have to check that out. But okay, cool. That's good to know. Spicy Reed saying hi to Gizmo. Gizmo is awesome. Like I said, you guys go check his channel out. He, that's cool getting so many recommendations that are just so out of your wheelhouse. You might end up loving them. You might not, but it's cool to just get exposed to it. You never know until you know. You check it out. But there are definitely some that I would not have run across if I hadn't spoken to him. Doing well. Good to hear, Laren. Saying hi to everybody. Evil Dead 13 on your list. If you're going to see the Evil Dead Rise, it's better in my opinion. Okay. So what do you think? So Cody, you or anybody else out there, or Allie, I know you like Evil Dead Rise a lot. You've said that in there. If you've seen all of them, I'm gonna watch Evil Dead Rise no matter what. But do you think it's a necessity to watch the 2013 before I watch Evil Dead Rise? Let me know. I'll find it and stream it at the very least. If I know they're not completely tied together, but just let me know if you guys have any opinions of order you watch those in. Saying hi to Spicy, read. Evil Dead 2013 is a masterpiece. Cool, Brad. All right. So I know I have to add that to the list as well, but curious if you have any ideas on that too, of watching in order, or if it doesn't really matter between that and Evil Dead Rise on the list after. Okay. Yep. I was going to say, you know how many people said Blue Ruin? So if I forget Blue Ruin after tonight, you'll know I'm having problems. But Chris, man, thanks for jumping in here. I don't know how far I'm behind on the chat, but you guys are still hanging with me, so I'll keep on talking. But like I said, anytime you'd be like, Corey, bring her down, bud. But Chris, thanks for jumping in. Chris, if you guys haven't been on Chris' channel, go check him out too. Chris is another one that has opened me up to some movies I haven't seen. So many of you have as well, but he does a lot of videos on the Giallo. And if I say something wrong, don't make fun of me too much. I say things wrong all the time, but Giallo, I believe you say, and slasher movies. So cool stuff. The first one I watched off his recommendations was The Beyond, and that was trippy, man. I was talking about it. I don't want to spoil anything if anybody else hasn't seen it or will go out and see it, but I think it was one that I brought up on the stream with Gizmo and Anthony, where there was a couple scenes in that where I was like, oh, okay, that just happened. And there was one with a dog, and that's all I'll say, where I just was like, oh, that just happened. But thanks for coming in, man. Thanks for saying slash that like button. If you haven't, go ahead and do it if you want to. If you haven't subscribed, I guess I don't say that stuff and everything, but if you haven't subscribed and you want to and see me make a fool of myself and hit my microphone around more in the future, go ahead and subscribe and you'll find out when I'm going to smack the microphone and drop things around a little bit more some other time. Saying hi. Allie, we're going to die and I'm where my mother. Is that in the movie I haven't seen? It sounds interesting either way, but Gizmo hates Blue. Oh, see, that's good to know. I had so many people recommending that one to me. So that's what's interesting too. You can have a movie that like a ton of people love or a ton of people hate, and you got one person that either, thinks the opposite way with that. But I think the big thing is if somebody doesn't like a movie that you absolutely love, it's your classic, it's your top 5, whatever you want to say. It doesn't mean they hate you or think you're stupid or anything like that. If it just doesn't click with them. Johnny, right? Come on. You're not going to hate me, right? Come on. I know I said some harsh things about a movie the other night on KB's, but I think we're working it out. Just kidding. But I'm curious, Gizmo, do you really hate that one? Either way, I think at this point I have to watch it. There have been so many people that have said something about it. No matter what, I'm going to have to take a look at it. Since we're reveling ages, I'm a 92 baby. So many good. Hey, 92 was a great year. I was high school. I feel so old sometimes. Oh, man. But no, who cares what age you are? You still love movies, and you can love movies that were before you and after you. There are times you grew up. Doesn't matter. Doesn't mean you know them better than the other person. So it's cool, man. Saying hello. Like Evil Dead 2013. Okay, so that's definitely going on the list for after the stream. Laren, you're a baby compared to Chris. If I told you that I'm really bad at reading and talking while I'm going through those, guy just had a baby girl, so he'll likely. Oh, okay. That explains it. I've been there. It's been a long time ago, but been there. I have a son and a daughter. They're both getting older, and one's out of the house and one's almost out of the house. So, but I remember those days of very, very little sleep. Okay. I'm gonna have to take a drink. My wife is gonna actually probably love all you guys because I'm gonna talk so much tonight that I'm not probably not gonna want to talk for the next like 2 days, and she'll probably absolutely love it. Just kidding. Okay, let's see here. Where are we at? Okay. Oh, cool. Yeah. So that's what I mean. And I know you will be this way. You know, if you recommend a movie and it doesn't click, it's not like a personal thing against you. I know you'll be that way, but it's just there's some people that kind of take it personally sometimes. So two of them I've watched so far. One was a hit. I loved it. Tell No One. If you've if anybody's never seen Tell No One, French film, English subtitles, thriller, drama, that was a really good one. Gizmo. I really like that one. Now I'm gonna probably say the title wrong. No crap. Um, Man Bites Dog, I think it is. I need to watch that one again. So if a movie doesn't completely click with me the first time around, and I'll admit that one didn't, and that's not anything against you or your recommendations. It just didn't click with me. I think I need to watch it again. I'll give movies a second run at least when I have time, before I just write them off. But I'm still glad I watched it because it was definitely way out of my wheelhouse. A lot of there's graphic stuff in there, just so be aware if you go out and watch it. But a lot of dark humor, and I think you said you really appreciated it for that. But that's hey, it was an experience. I'm glad I watched. I need to. That's one I'll mark for a second watch sometime. Evil Dead Rise. It's my okay. Good to know. Evil Dead is constantly a good series. Okay. Oh, in release order. Okay, good to know, Jeff. Okay, so maybe I need to get the 2013 and just hold off on the Rise and watch both of them. So I'll have to look for that one or see if it's on one of my streaming services. Like I said, I'm trying to use them a little bit more. I'm going to cancel a bunch of them, let them run out. I do a lot of year membership or subscriptions for them because they're cheaper, if you figure out per month. I think I'm going to cancel a bunch of them, dig into what I bought physically, and try to utilize some of those subscription services more. And as they run out, the ones that go longer, use those a little bit more, and maybe rotate them a little bit. 1 month or two do one and go to another. But I'm subscribed to a bunch of them, and I love them, but I just don't have time to get to them enough. And I think I just need to cut them off, dig into what I got, and just kind of use just limit the streaming services for a little bit. Still watch them. I love them because there's a lot of things I'll watch that I don't know if I want to buy, but then figure out if I want to go out and get it or not. But okay, Johnny, Door Rise just for the gore. Oh, okay, okay. Sounds like I need to do that. Brad, Evil Dead Rise, sequel to Evil Dead 2013. Okay. Sounds like it's not necessary, but I might do it. Doesn't sound like it'd be a bad thing. I'll look and see how easy it is for me to see it. If it's on a streaming service I have, or if it's cheap, if I can pick it up cheap. We'll see. You can't watch Evil Dead Rise without. Okay. Yep. So it sounds like I need to take a look and see where I can access 2013. Larry, this is your first stream. You're killing it. Well, look at this. Oh, thanks, Matt. No, yeah, absolutely. So it's my first solo stream. It's the first one on my channel. I've been on some very cool people were generous enough to let me jump on. I know it was very limited and I couldn't hear a whole lot, but Bob with Bob's Blu-ray, they were doing their meetup with Bull Moose. I jumped on. He sent me a link. I jumped on for a little bit. Like I said, it wasn't much, but officially that was my first being on a live stream. Gizmo being on his channel with Anthony talking. We did a video on zombie movies or the undead. That was lots of fun. That thing broke me in and I smacked the microphone again. I tell you what, I need to tie my hands up. And then I was also on Dave and Rich with 4K Lowdown and Turner Fan 77. They had on their channel. I was able to join in on By the Numbers, where they watch a group of movies and rate those. So just been, I'm probably forgetting something. Like I said, I get nervous and I start forgetting things, but there's been a lot of cool people that let me jump on before they really knew a ton about me and gave me a chance. But yeah, this is my first one on my channel running solo. Sometime I'll have somebody else so you can hear somebody other than my voice, which I'm sure everybody would appreciate. Oh, and I just hit that one again. It was such a good compliment. I had to see it again. So, but thank you, Laren. I appreciate it. You're awesome. I've always seen you being so positive and supportive out in the community. So I very much appreciate it. Thoughts on the 91 film Point Break? It's a fun one. I enjoy it. I have the Blu-ray of it. I don't know if I'll be getting the 4K because I'll wait and see what people say about the transfer and everything. I have the Blu-ray and I can watch it when I want to. I have fun with it. Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze in that. It's a good fun time. I don't know. I had fun. What do you think about it? Throw out there if you liked it or not, but I have fun. That's one I'll go back and watch once in a while. But like I said, I'm not going to be a day one, or I know it's already out, but I'm not going to be purchasing the 4K right away. I'm going to wait and see what people say about it. That'll be one I'll probably wait and see if there's a good sale in the future because I have the Blu-ray and I can get to it if I want to, but no, it's fun. Johnny, I felt personally attacked when you looked unfavorably. I know, Johnny. I know I cut you deep on that one, and I'm sincerely sorry. The last thing I wanted to do was hurt somebody like you. And from the bottom of my heart, I love Ghostbusters. So I think that evens it out, right? We'll go with that anyway. I knew I was going to get, you know how many times I almost changed my answer for that? So KB gives the 5 takes. He gives those questions ahead of time so you can kind of come up with what you're going to talk about. And that was one of them I picked out. And I almost changed it so many times because I was like, I'm going to get so much hate for that one. Because like I said, I don't hate the movie. I just don't have the appreciation, I think, of others. And I don't think badly of people who do. But yeah, I know you're just giving me a hard time. But oh, man, I debated about talking about that one. I was almost going to pull something else, something safer out. Oh, what's up, man? Hey, cool peeps in the chat. Hey, thanks for joining in, Rob, the Lost Boy. Thank you very much for checking it out. Saying hi to Rob. Dale still likes me, I think. I made him watch it. Candace. That's the problem. When you start doing it, it's almost scary when you start throwing out recommendations to people. I mean, because I'm always going to wait for that moment that I recommend some movie to somebody and then they absolutely hate it. And they're like, Corey, why did you recommend this movie to me? And do you truly, truly like it? It's almost, yeah, it's kind of scary. It's scarier than watching a recommendation from somebody else and not knowing if you'll like watching it. But for me anyway, so I like hitting comments that I've already looked at. So, so Paul and Brad, wow, you guys are so awesome. I know I've been going for quite a while and I've only gone through a few things, but I love going through the chat. So you guys are troopers. Thank you for everything you're saying hi to everybody. Keep on your humoring me here. So I appreciate it. Yep, saying hi to K-Man and Johnny. And I'm a 94. Oh my gosh, Allie. You know how old I feel. I knew there's so many people in the community. And like I said, age doesn't matter, but there's like so many people I can just tell. I look at myself, I look at the people, like I know I'm quite a bit older than quite a few people. But wow, 94. Graduated high school in 94. Part of my 94, I was in college. All right. Those are some great movies. 94 had a lot of 80s and 90s have so many great movies. I think I'm probably biased, but I think there's so many great ones. Yep, Laren's agreeing that. Oh, I'm gonna have to look at that. So that was one thing I was going to talk about. If there was dead time, I can hit it later though too. But my whole idea of doing some streams, and whether I call it movie club or if that's corny, I don't know. But having whether it's one person or a panel on to talk about it, but like talking about a movie ahead of time uh, to watch, and anybody that wanted to join the chat could watch it ahead of time as well, and have kind of discussion on the movie. If that gets done early, you always can just keep on going on other topics or things that are going on, pickups, things like that. But Tubi was like Tubi and Freevee. I was wanting, I know I can't cover everybody, but for the United States at least, making sure whatever movie we cover is on a free streaming service like Tubi or Freevee or Crackle, or there's other ones I'm probably missing. You have to deal with some commercials, but you can still see basically the uncut movie and have a discussion. And there's no barrier of, everything's so expensive, and that'd be one barrier to be out of the way. A dollar amount wouldn't be tied with it. And if you wanted to go out and buy it, or if you already had it in your collection, or if you had a streaming service that had it, other than those, great. But if not, the deciding factor wouldn't be whether you'd have to cough up some money for it or not. So I'll have to look at that. Tubi has some great movies on it. I was surprised when I started thinking of that, and digging through it. There were so many movies out there. I was really, really surprised what they had. So, all right, looking through here. Oh, Laren. Okay. So we can throw out some tough questions. I can get some personal questions out here too. That's a personal question. Real Christmas tree or artificial Christmas tree? I'd like to. I know I'm probably way behind on chat, so maybe people have already been answering this one for a while, but in our house, we have an artificial Christmas tree. So growing up, we had two. So we grew up, it's kind of a weird layout, on a farm. So we had multiple buildings that we would do stuff in. There was our house, but then we had a thing that we always called the bunk house, and it wasn't anything special, but it was kind of like it was almost having like a detached um, family room or something. My dad had an office, he had a workshop. It was kind of split up in different, it was just big one long row, but then there was like a boardwalk in the front of it. And one was kind of like a family room you could hang out in. One was his office that he could do some things in. And another was like just a dirty workbench, things like, and that he could do things on. So my brother, we ended up finding out, seemed to kind of be allergic to real Christmas trees. So in the house, we started doing an artificial one. So where he'd slap, things like that. He didn't have to like have red puffy eyes and sneezing all the time. But out in that bunkhouse, there's quite a few times we do a real Christmas tree out there. So we kind of could have both, and he could steer clear of it if he didn't want to do that. But I got to say, there's nothing that beats that smell of the real Christmas tree. But it's a mess. You got to get rid of it, and then it becomes a fire hazard, things like that. So more you have to deal with. But yeah, right now we're rocking a artificial. So I'll be curious what anybody else has if they throw that in the chat. There's some very welcoming people in this community. I'm so proud to be part. Jeff, absolutely, man, absolutely. You're one of them. Absolutely, you're one of them. And it's cool seeing. I wish I could, there's only so many hours in the day watching movies, but then like catching up on people's YouTube channels, things like, and Instagram posts and everything. So I never want to feel like I'm not spending attention, but I think it's cool you were doing the series with your son on your channel with the Chucky series. I personally had not gotten into that series yet, so I wasn't watching a ton of them just because, excuse me, I didn't know a lot about it. But I love that you're doing that. That's a great connection that you can have. And I don't know if you're thinking about continuing that, going on different series or movies, but anyway, all I was trying to get to, I guess the long route was talking to you, and you're a very welcoming, positive, supportive person in the community. So I appreciate it, just like everybody else that's in here. But anyway, we'll do that shout out. We also did the Instagram live with Dave and Chris. Yes, that's right. So, okay. So thank you. So that's the thing, caveman. People got to keep me in check because I have a bad memory and it gets even worse when I'm in situations where like I'm feeling like I'm not that I'm put on the spot, but I'm trying to think on my feet a little bit. I am very good at missing facts or glossing over things. And yes, that was one of the very early ones. And I think that was one that um, David said, okay, we did that Instagram live chat and I could tell we could put up with you, I guess, a little bit. And then when I reached out to him, I was like, hey, you said one time, if you wanted to be on the show, just say something. And I did. And I think that, yeah, you never know what you're going to get with somebody until you have a little more conversation with them. But yeah, absolutely. Thank you for bringing that up. I knew I was forgetting something. And I love having friends to remind me of the things I'm forgetting. Larry was saying, "Caveman, I love 60s films and especially sitcoms." Okay, cool. Larry, what's a favorite? Not to put you on your spot, say like absolutely favorite, but what's a couple sitcom or two that you love from the 60s? I'd be curious. It's kind of fun going back and revisiting some of those. Lauren is testing you. He loves point. Oh, so he was trying to see if he was going to be mad at me like Johnny was mad at me with the whole Big Lebowski thing. Maybe that would have been the tipping point. Big Lebowski, strike against me. If I would have gone Point Break, I would have been gone. Been gone for sure. So hopefully I answered that one correctly. Gizmo. Oh, Allie, you're born the same year as. Okay. Oh, I don't know that one, Gizmo. There were so many from that stream. I need to go back and watch that stream that you and Anthony were throwing out that I had not seen. And that's where hopefully I was not dragging that down too much, but I know my viewing was way less than the two of you, but I'll have to mark that one down. Reminder for next time, I need to have a notepad and pen with me, but I'll remember that or go back and remind myself. I'm not known for being one for the biggest fans. Point Break, probably of all time. Okay. One of the biggest fans of all. Wow. I completely read that wrong the first time. You are one of the biggest fans. Yes. It's fun. That's a fun one. I always got a blast too. I remember seeing it. I'm old enough. I saw it in the theater. Was blown away when I was like, hey, Red Hot Chili Peppers are in there. It was kind of funny seeing Flea and Anthony Kiedis as some of the surfer hooligans, whatever you want to say in that. So Peppers are a good one. But I was talking earlier about going to see one of their concerts. Yeah, dude, you need to apologize. That dude who loves me. Oh, yeah. All right. I didn't hate the dude. I didn't say that. You got Steelbook on pre-order? I saw that must be out already because I was seeing some people post some pictures of that Point Break Steelbook and it looked pretty cool. And that's the tough thing when looking at what you're bringing in and what you're watching. And if you're keeping yourself to a budget, it definitely looked cool. And like I said, I have that Blu-ray, so I might be rocking that one for a little bit, but I'm not saying I don't like I love seeing people on videos throwing that Steelbook out and looking at it. Allie, you have not seen Point Break. It's a fun one. Not saying it's definitely didn't win an Oscar, but it's a fun one. You gotta check that one out. It's a good time. Watch. I've seen Ice Pirates. Okay, caveman. I won't go too far into this because I don't want to get deep in the weeds with it. But so I remember God, I guess I don't know how old I was, but it was we rented the Ice Pirates on VHS when I was a kid. I think my mom thought it was. I liked Star Wars, Star Trek, things like that, and I think thought it was just along the lines of one of those, and we were watching it. All I remember and I was oblivious to it, but all I remember is the movie was on. She was in the like the next room, and there was a part where I'll probably get it wrong, but they take on some cargo or something, and there's like a slug or something comes flying around. They freak out, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, it's space herpes!" And flew over my head. Young kid. My mom comes shooting into the room, and she's like, "What are you watching?" She was mad. She's like, "What are you watching?" Hearing space herpes getting thrown around. I'm like, "It's the movie you rented for us," and I don't think we got to watch the rest of it. It was a little while longer or a little later when I got to finish it, but yep, I've seen that one before. Woman, how long you been going? Hello, by the way. Woman, I guess. I don't know. How long you been going? Well, tonight, if you're talking about the live stream, it's about 2.5 hours. So whoever's still hanging out with me, thank you. And because I didn't have any plan, I was ready to go for 15 minutes with nobody in here and just do a little recorded video and be done with it if nobody showed. But if that's what you're talking about 2.5. Wow, time flies, and you guys are still putting up with me, and I appreciate that very, very much. You put up the Festus poll. Yep. Saying hi, spicy, friend interest in the Senate is a gift actually. So I haven't. I feel okay. Yeah. That's dope. Hate pulling out tinsel from we had a dog for a long time where it was as he grew up, we had to like keep on putting ornaments higher up on the Christmas tree. Uh, now we just keep it in a different room and keep him away from it. Okay, here we go. Is it 60s? Gilligan? I don't know, 100%. Yep, that's fun. Bewitched, I Dream of Genie, the monstrous stuff. Oh yeah, yeah, they're all good. I don't have it turned the right way, but um, just this past year there was a deal on the DVD set of the Monsters, and I grabbed that. And I was just diving into that a little bit for Halloween season, but I need to go back into it. That's fun stuff. Scottish Geek Guy. Hey, thanks, man. Howdy, folks. Thanks for dropping in. Been checking out your channel recently, and no, I appreciate you stopping in. So envious of you seeing it Point Break in the theater. Yeah, I'm old. There's probably a lot of old movies that I saw in the theater you can be jealous about, but no, I know what you mean though. There's whatever age you are, there's always some that were before you were old enough or before you were born that you'd like to see. So that was I was asking somebody recently. That's where I always, like I said, I have bad memory, but like name a movie you wish you could see in the theater. So maybe for yours it's Point Break, but you always have like a movie that was like, oh, I wish I could have been either old enough or alive at the time to see it actually in the theater up on the big screen. So yeah, yep, saw that one. Odd Couple, yeah, that's a good one. Bewitched, I Dream of Ginny, yep. Hogan's Heroes. I used to watch that with my grandpa. He would watch those reruns all the time. They have a Blu-ray set of that. I got it marked, but I need it to drop a bit lower before I pull the trigger on that one. Is that a rotating media? Yes, it is. So I'm kind of in a new spot right now because I'm trying to like do something if I'm going to get a little bit more into live streaming or recording more videos. I'm new to the whole YouTube thing, but trying to get something where I'm out of the way of the family. So if I'm doing this, that they're able to function and do everything they want in the rest of the house, whether it's watching a movie or whatever, I'm out of the way. And not that I can keep everything set up all the time, but a little spot where I can have some things a little more set up where I don't have to tear everything down. And I hit the microphone again. Um, Tear everything down and put it up every single time. There's some things I will have to change, but as I go in and out of doing things with this, but not everything. So the whole blank wall behind me, I'm still trying to figure out something, but that is a big rotating just because it wasn't a big space that I have in here. But I'm thinking of a shelf. But I'm trying to think of something behind me, and it'd be nice to have some more storage as well. So whether I get a little shelf to go behind me and get a couple movie posters, I'll have to see. But that thing, it holds quite a bit. It's a nice little, it's not little, it's big. It's a nice, it holds a lot and takes up a small footprint. We'll say that. So if you got a tight space, it's kind of nice to do. But you're only 10 subscribers away from hitting wow. I didn't even know that. I haven't looked at that in a while. Cool. Thanks for the update. You know, honestly, I'm only 10, so I'm like at 90. That's 89 more than I thought I would have got when I started this. So no, it's cool. I appreciate it. You know, I already think of the whole thing as a win by this point. The people I've met already and the conversations I've started to have. So whether I'm still doing videos or this, it's already been a win for me. I've met some cool people. You and Anthony are among those, and um, no, it's already been a win. So no, that's cool to know. When I didn't do a video for quite a while, I saw it drop down a bit. So I'm like, I don't need to worry about that. So, all right, Gizmo, what do we say here? No, you're great, Wilkie. The thing I love most talking about films is that everyone has their different experience with the format. I seen like in general 2 films every day since I was. Oh wow, 2 a day since you were 5. That's impressive. I used to watch a lot more movies, but it was in the theater a lot more. So high school, college, early, like a out of college, and then early being married before kids. Love having kids, so wouldn't change a thing with that. But that also changes going out, seeing movies as much or what you're watching. Um, through those earlier years, I would go to the theater a lot, but we had a lot more theaters available to us. And I think I was mentioning it earlier. I keep on shaking my camera around too. Um, we had a lot more theaters available to us that would do, I think I was talking about earlier, second run movies where they were kind of run down, knocked down, drag out theaters. But after they did their first run in the big, nice theater, they'd go to this second run theater where they'd have like $1 a movie night or $5, whatever. But there was definitely a few nights of the week where maybe it was slower for them, but it'd be like $1 to go see them. And it was so easy to go see movies that you missed that were in the theater. I miss those so much. It was $1. I mean, it was so easy to go out and run and see a theater. And I'd see so many like multiple times too. So it was before streaming a lot of the time. So I would go out and so I think I want to say the record for in theater watches for me is The Matrix. So that was one I really enjoyed when it came out. I saw it a few times in the first run theater. And then when it was $1, I went and saw it quite a few more times, even by myself. I didn't care. I just had fun with it. It was $1, you go in there and watch it. Or there was sometimes it was right next to a big shopping mall. So if my wife wanted to go there or she was busy doing something, even if I didn't get to see the whole movie, it was like $1 and I'd go in. Yeah, I'll go watch The Matrix again for a while. But yeah, I think The Matrix and The Crow were probably my top 2 movies for a number of times I saw in an actual movie theater. But Matrix has to have the win on that one, I think. So we are one in the same, guy. Okay, cool. I like to know that. You seem like a cool guy. So I'm going to take that as a really great compliment. Thank you. Yes, I was saying, and I was excited for you doing this long for. Oh, I know. If so, no, absolutely. I appreciate that. I'm open-ended on this. I didn't know what to expect being the first time doing it. I think what helped me was being on a very long stream, very fun stream. So not mean it in a negative way, but with Gizmo and Anthony. And we went just streaming time. We talked beforehand and after. So it was even longer than this, but I think just streaming time, it was at least 4.5 hours. At least. So longer than that when we were talking beforehand, before going live, and then after. And it was great. But that was such a great experience for me. So this doesn't seem so. I know I've been going for quite a while, but if people are still chatting and talking along, like I said, I didn't have anything else planned. So if we're good, I'll keep going. If people are bored and everybody drops out, I can shut her down. But yeah, no, longer than I expected. But like I said, I came into this, I'm like, I'm not going to disappoint myself. I'm going to, might not be, I didn't know if anybody would show up, be honest with you. I figured a couple of people would, but I didn't know for how long or how many. So I figured I was going to kind of set myself up to just record a video. Worst case scenario, nobody shows up. I have a 15 to 20-minute video that will be out on my YouTube channel, and I'll get my a video out for this week. Ended up being so pleasantly surprised. So many more to me. This is way more than I expected. I'm very, very grateful. Absolutely blown away. Somebody else could look at this and be like, "Oh, that's whatever." I'm honestly being very, very sincere. I'm blown away. I appreciate the support and people, all the chat here, and I need to catch back up with that. So yes, no, I see. I hear what you're saying with that. Feels have been in my life times bad. I just think that they're all different, and yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I just have a blast talking about it. This was my selfish way of getting to voice myself. Uh, there's so many things, different interests that I have in common with the rest of my family. Movies, we're very different on that, and that's not one of them. That's not a knock on them at all. It's just people have different interests, different things they like talking about. And this community has been something that I've just loved, even just getting into chats. So worst case scenario, if all I ever did was get into chats and talk with other people on their videos or their live streams, I was going to be happy. I was getting that interaction that I was looking for, and getting recommendations on seeing movies. So absolutely. And there's been so many films that I agree with you that get you through different times, whether you're happy, sad, depressed, mad, whatever. There's movies that will fit that. And I've had a few of those through my life too, that it's like, wow, that came out of the blue and hit me at the right time. And it's funny how you can get locked into them and get a little, tie in with the emotions of the movie a bit. So Brad, thank you very much. I know, oh yeah, stream at 10. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't mean to, I didn't know who else was going on. So not anybody want to jump over to his, no hard feelings at all. He's got some fun streams, Brad, there. So go check him out if you want to as well. So I didn't know what people had going on. It was one of those that I'd reached out to a few people earlier. Well, it's been a while ago now, where I was thinking about doing some live streams, and I'm like, I don't want to step on any toes. I don't want to anger anybody of taking, a time that is kind of known to be theirs, but I just don't realize that that's the time they normally go live with it. And a lot of the feedback I got was, thank you very much. Here's what I got, but don't worry about it. It's impossible. A lot of people are doing live streams. It's going to be impossible not to cross over with somebody at some point, because people either stick with their schedule or do different ones. And everybody was really cool with like, just do it, man. Just go out, do it. So Brad, thank you very much. If I'm not still talking, maybe I'll jump in there and see you as well. I have fun on your stream. So yeah, anybody want to go check out his, be sure to do that. Space herpes made your mom right scared because you hadn't got rid of them. Also one of the, yeah, I forgot. Is she in that? I completely forgot that. Huh. I'll have to go look at that. But yeah, no, I remember her frantically running into the room, and I had no clue whatsoever what she was worked up about. I remember watching Pulp when I was way too young to watch it. Yeah, I'm assuming Pulp Fiction. I think that was like a college movie for me. Like I said, old man, but yeah, I think we all have some movies that we watched way too young. One of them I was talking about it when leading up to Halloween time. I was doing a little snip for a video was Night of the Living Dead, and that was one I saw pretty young. That still love it today, but man, it freaked me out at the time. But yeah, I think we all have stories of some of those we saw way before we should have. Back to the Future is my favorite movie of all time. Wish I could experience it for the first time in the theater. So I did see that one in the theater as well. So, but the thing I remember is the very first time I saw it, we missed the very, very beginning of it because we were actually on a family vacation. We were like in Missouri, like southern Missouri. I just remember walking in right before he was like tuning up the guitar with the amp right at the very beginning. So we kind of missed him on the skateboard getting over to Doc's place. And I just stuck in my head so much where we come in and you hear that like reverb when he's like getting the guitar going, and then you see the whole. So yeah, it took me a little while before I got to see the beginning of that, but yep, that's a fun one. That was a good one to see in the theater. There, I'd probably see Halloween Nights. Yeah. So okay, if you go back, what would you see? Psychos. So I would agree with you. Actually, all of those. Halloween '78, I was bummed because a local theater here, they do these limited run movies where they'll do like one, like an old classic or something. They'll throw back in the mix each month, but they only show it like two two times. So it's like one's like a Sunday afternoon and one's like a Tuesday night or something. And leading up to Halloween, they had a bunch of horror movies, and one of them was '78 Halloween, and I wanted to see that one so bad in the theater, and it just didn't work out. Like I said, there was like 2 showings, and it just did not jive with the schedule, so I missed out on that, but I'd say that would be the one, but I could watch it anytime. Oh, that's a question. We're talking about personal questions like real tree or fake tree. Um, So I'll get to that in a second, but Halloween '78 definitely, but it would probably I would love to see it around Halloween, whatever, just that time of year. But that'd be the question. I was just having that debate with somebody earlier on watching horror movies. So there's a lot of times I get up really early on Saturday mornings when everybody else in my house is still sleeping for quite a while, and I'll watch a movie. I have plenty of time. I get my dog up, get him fed, take him outside, and get him all happy and watch a movie. So there was a couple times I'm watching horror movies, but it's like 6 in the morning. So is that wrong? What's your thought on does it matter on the time of day you watch a horror movie or thriller, scary movie, whatever you want to call it? Is it wrong to watch it in the morning? Does it have to be at night? I know it can add to it if it's dark at night. Sometimes the sun's still coming up at 6 in the morning, but let me know what you think. Is it wrong to watch scary movies in the morning or when it's daylight out? All right. Saying hi. I'd probably go back. Exorcist would be a good one in the theater. Absolutely. Jurassic Park. I saw that one too, Reed. I'm an old man, born in the '70s. That was a fun one in the theater. So I know now I actually would like to go see it now in the theaters because the sound systems are even better than what they were, when that originally came out. But for the time, I still remember that there's a couple scenes in that. Like there's the T-Rex when he's the first reveal, you got the footsteps, you see the little water, the glass on the dash or whatever it was in the car start shaking and you see the water rippling from it. But being in a theater and hearing those thumps, get louder and louder. I don't have a sound system that can compete with what those theaters could do. So that was pretty awesome. That was a good time. I think you can get 670 as one of those rotating shelves. I have about okay. I still have plenty of room in mine. I guess I didn't even realize what side I had it on, but right now I kind of have. There's still a lot of empty spots, and there's another side of it that I have some more TV shows and sets like that on it that have a lot more room. So I still have some room to grow within it, but that's where I was thinking of doing the shelf behind me. I'd have some room, even more room to grow. But then if I did a video, I'm kind of coming from a different angle from like this way. You don't see that rotating thing behind me. You see this blank wall. And I'm like, well, maybe if I got a small shelf, it'd do something else here. I could have some movies, some figurines above that, and maybe some movie posters. So I need something. But like I was just getting into this space to get out of the family's way and baby steps. Baby steps. I'm working at it. Terminator 2, Empire Strikes Back, Hellraiser. Come and see Borgman. I want to see all of them. Okay. So I never saw Empire Strikes Back. Terminator 2, I saw in the theater. I'm trying to look. None of the others. So Terminator 2 was the only one I was able to see in the theater. So when I was getting old enough, the one of the Star Wars that I saw originally in the theater was Return of the Jedi. So that was kind of when I was getting at that age. And I also remember, that's funny, when I was showing some of these movies, Return of the Jedi, or at least the time when we went to the theater, Return of the Jedi and A Christmas Story was, whether they were released at the same time, I just remember they were in the same theater, and then we were with a big group of people. It was like a family. We went on a family trip with a few other families, and there was the big debate: which movie are you going to go see? And then we kind of the group split between Return of the Jedi and A Christmas Story, and I picked Return of the Jedi because I was a huge Star Wars fan as a kid. I had loved the toys, everything like that. I ended up seeing A Christmas Story, but I just remember that was the big debate which one you were going to go. What group you were going with? My time travel movie would have to be Jaws. That's the one I wish. Oh, I get what you're saying. I gotta take a drink again. Wow. Thank you guys for putting up with me. I agree. Jaws would be awesome on the screen. I think that was one of those classic movies, that theater I was talking about, that brought that back. And I just, when they do them like the Sunday afternoon and the Tuesday night, it just doesn't seem like it works with my schedule a lot of times. So the only one I got to see out of those classic series was, well, actually, no, I was gonna lie. There was 2 I got to see this year that was out of that series. So the first one was Casablanca, which was fun to see in there, and the second one was They Live, John Carpenter, They Live, with Roddy Piper. That was a fun one to see on the big screen. Got to see the big old knockdown, drag out brawl in the alleyway. That was fun. Spicy, you got it. Jurassic Park was my favorite movie in the theater. It was, yeah, absolutely, Miss Gay Man. That, I don't know if you had the same scene, but there were so many of those like sounds from the dinosaurs. It was awesome in the theater, but I don't know why that stood out. The thumping of the T Rex coming in. I like that. Holland Gizmo wishes he could see The Little Mermaid 2023 in the theaters after watching it at home. Well, Gizmo, I'm sorry you missed out on that experience. Maybe that will be a classic in the future that they will show in the theater, and you'll get to go see it. I actually never seen it, so I won't give any hate, but I know there's lots of mixed feelings on it. I would have liked to see Sean. Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, I like the Bond movies. Gizmo and I were actually talking about those, chatting back and forth not too long ago about the Bond movies. I have, yeah, you can't see it. It's on one of the sides. I have the Daniel Craig series on the 4K set of that, but then I have that the big blue Blu-ray Bond set. It had all of the Bonds except for the newest. I think it was No Time to Die. It had all of them except that one. But then the Daniel Craig, the 4K set, I had all of his, so it had that one in there too. But I wanted to go back and work my way through that. So I've seen all of them at one time or another. We had some cable channels way back in the day, especially in college. They'd have like Bond marathons, and they would just have Bond movies playing nonstop for a whole month. And I know that helped me see a lot of them. But a lot of times with a kid, I love Connery, but a lot of times as a kid, there was Roger Moore was a big one at the time I was at. So we were talking about one of the fun ones. I'm not saying it's the greatest Bond movie, but Moonraker always stood out as a fun one. I mean, I was like Jaws, the guy with the big metal teeth. Thought he was fun. For the most in the theater, it was Batman Begins. I saw that. Oh, okay, cool. So I wish I would have kept track, but I bet you I had to have been in the teens for The Matrix. The Crow, it wasn't the teens, but I was high. I was approaching double digits with that one. But Matrix, I know I was into the teens. I don't know if I was at 14, but it had to have been in the teens for that one. But Batman Begins, no, that was a good one. My record would have been Jurassic Park. I saw it 7 times in a row every Friday with my. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. That I have so many. That's the thing. I think you get into this a little bit. So many movies or TV shows or music that I associate with somebody I'm close with and that experience I had with them. And that's awesome to have that. So we were just talking about pop culture 33 was just saying about Batman Begins. The original Batman, that was when I brought up on KB's stream. That was when I have a really strong memory with my mom, her taking me to see that. It was before I could drive, and it was a late night showing, and she had plenty to do early the next morning, but she knew that was like one of those movies that had such the hype leading up to it. It was awesome, and I just have that great experience going to the show with her. Wow, you guys are awesome, man. Thank you for wanting to hear me blab for this long. This is awesome. Like I said, I'm not saying that in a bad way. I just did not know what to expect, and I'm still kind of beside myself at this point. So it's very, very much appreciated. And you got to be like the friend that wears out his welcome. Let me know when you need to kick me out the door and go to bed or something. So, okay, Gizmo Holland. No, but I wish I could get to see. Yep. I can't cry. I can't cry first run movies locally or are only 5 feet. Okay, hardest thing for me, a sitter for the kids. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that for the longest time when the kids were smaller, we just didn't get babysitters a lot. So we usually just, my wife and I, we did something. The kids just went with us. And I'm not saying good or bad. People do one thing or the other. It just seems like, I don't know why, but we just never really got a babysitter. They just would bring them along with them. So, so if we did get to the point, we kind of didn't go to the theaters when they were too young. And then when they got old enough, a lot of times it was movies that were more, kid oriented. So, but no, I hear you. I think it's hard. Crow in theaters, it would been nice. Yeah, that was that one that hooked me. The very first time I saw it, see, that's what's weird. I'll forget the simplest thing, but then I remember The Crow. I saw that I saw that many times in the theater. Like I said, it was probably approaching double digits, but the first time I saw it was with my cousin. I just remember my cousin Mike. Him and I went in to see The Crow in the theater together. Great soundtrack too. That's an album I almost thought about. I have the CD of it when it came out. I still have the same CD, but I was almost thinking about buying the vinyl record for that. When I was in Barnes and Noble, they actually had it, but it was more than I wanted to spend. Vinyl records can get kind of crazy. And like I said, when you're already buying movies and other things, not saying I couldn't do it, but there's just a certain point where I'm just, this is what I'm going to do for the month. And I try to stick with it, and I couldn't do it. Someday I'll get that. Maybe it'll go on sale or something, but that was a good soundtrack, or at least it was for me, my 90s alternative phase anyway. I think I saw Lethal Weapon 3 in the theaters, 15. Okay, cool. That's fun. That's a fun one. Wow, Johnny. Geez, Johnny. Loving the Lethal Weapon. Those are fun. I haven't watched those in a long time. I'd go back and rewatch those. That's the first rated R movie that I ever got carded to go see. No, that's funny. So a small town where I grew up around, we had a very, very small theater. So when I was quite a bit younger, we saw a lot of rated R movies that we were too young for, but it was very small. It was 2 screens in the theater. You'd go by the ticket booth, you'd go by the concession stand, and then you'd walk in and they'd make a T. And there was 2 theaters, one on each side. There was like a water fountain right in the middle, I remember. But you go one of 2 sides. One side, I think it was always the left side, had like your PG-13 movie, like your younger kid movie. And the other side was usually your rated R movie. So you'd always buy us being little punk middle schoolers, you'd buy the PG or PG-13 ticket. And then you'd have somebody go look, like pretend they're going to go take a drink of water because you have this fountain right in the middle. And you kind of look back at the ticket stand and see if anybody's looking. And then you kind of do the, come on. And you run across the other side and try to get into the rated R movie. I would tell my kids I never did that though. So don't tell them. They're old enough now, they don't care. But yes, The Crow would have been killer first time watched the cinema. Yeah. That was a good one. That's supposed to be getting a 4K release, isn't it? I know there was all the talks about remaking it, which I'm not against it. I'll I'll be interested to see what they do with it. I'm not like a don't touch my favorite movie. I just hope they do well by it. But the original Crow, I thought that could do a 4K really good. How dark that one is. Um, I thought there was talks of a 4K coming out. I hope so. It'd look good for it. Most definitely. What was the first rated R movie you saw on your own? Mine was Police Academy. So hmm, I don't know. Like I was talking about that whole sneaking across this. I don't know what the first one was I ever saw. I'm going to think about that. I'll get back to you, caveman. I can't think of what that is. Mika, oh, thank you so much. Thank you for however long you ended up hanging out. I know this went a lot, or not saying a negative, but it's going a lot longer than I thought it was going to. So, however much of it you tuned in for, I very much appreciate it, and thank you very much. And I'm looking forward to the podcast. No pressure. I believe me, I know that takes a lot more work than the things I've been doing, and I've had trouble keeping up with what I thought originally I was going to put into place. So I hope to hear Mika and Kara. I hope to hear you both on the podcast here. I love seeing you guys out there. So hope to hear and see you soon. So thank you very much for stopping, and I appreciate it. Say hi to Mika, Lara. Subjective Perspective Collective. I love that name, man. Our gal. Sorry, I'm trying to think if I apologize. Like I said, I'm bad at thinking on my feet. So if I've talked to you before, I apologize. But I don't know if this is your first time interacting. But either way, thank you very much for stopping in. And I apologize if I have talked to you before and I misplaced it. Like I said, sometimes I'm bad thinking on my feet here. Joan Rivers played at least voice the. I didn't realize that was her. That's a fun fact. Thanks, man. Thank you, man. Thank you. I say, man, I should stop saying that. I shouldn't assume. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. Hopefully I'll get some more things out here and we'll get to talk more and get to know each other. I appreciate it very much. Dirk. Is that Dirk? Okay. I know who it is now. So I apologize. I told you I'm bad thinking on my feet and I'm bad at so that's where it throws me off sometimes. I see people on streams. So if this is Dirk, and if I'm wrong, I apologize, but I've seen you with Pops and Brad and some of them before. So I apologize if I'm mixing you up there. But then sometimes people have different names between YouTube and Instagram, and gotta keep it simple for me. I'm easy to confuse, apparently. So thanks for stopping in, man. What did you think of the family mystic thrillers from the 80s and 90s? The Witches, The Goonies, Frog, Dreaming. Okay, so Never Ending Story. The only ones I've seen out of those are The Goonies and Never Ending Story, and I enjoyed both of them. I'd say Goonies over Never Ending Story, but enjoyed both of them. I don't have Never Ending Story, but I do have Goonies in the collection. I think I had a VHS at one time, but not too long ago, I got it on 4K when it went on sale. So those are fun. I'll have to check the other ones out. I've heard of Witches. I don't know if I've heard of the other ones, but no, they're fun. Dirk, I'm sorry if I completely blanked on who you were there. So don't unsub. Never a wrong time to watch a horror film. Okay, perfect. So that's back. You might have already been gone now, Mika, but I think I was going back to where I was saying if it was bad to watch it when it's daylight or in the morning. So cool. I have your support. I will continue to do that. I got see Dawn of the Dead in 3D. Oh, cool. I could see that. That'd be a fun one. Cool, Jeff. Certain times for certain horror for me makes it better. Okay. No, I could see that. So I've been watching some, like I said, early morning hours, but I agree. Sometimes if it's late at night, dark, it feels different. I can say that. So maybe it's not wrong, but it does feel it. Watch it in the morning, but it does feel different. Horror thriller movies any time of day in my book. Okay, Lauren, you're with me. It's film 10. Yeah, that's the thing. I just had to sneak them in when I can. There's a lot of times where Well, so that's the thing too. I try to be, uh, how do I want to say this? I want to be respective of other people in my house, and not everybody. Sorry if I talked away from the microphone. Not everybody enjoys scarier or horror movies in my house. So I usually kind of watch them on my own. So it's either when they're not awake or they're away, or I can put headphones on or something along those lines. So no, cool. Yeah. Like gothic horror is best on a yeah. No, I get it. Time of day or the weather. There's a lot of different things that can play into it. I think one of the when I finally got the 4K of the Thing, I've seen it plenty of times before, but when I got the 4K of the Thing, I think that might have been last winter, and we were having a bad snowstorm, like blowing snow everywhere. I don't know. I thought it was kind of cool, just with that setting. But no, I agree. A lot of those can play into it. Caveman Gizmo Dress Park. It's a weird release. It changed the entire age rating system. And okay, in Norway, kids. Wow, puking and screaming in the theaters at first. So it got pulled. Wow, really? Hmm. Like the how graphic it was. I know you weren't like don't know the kids or weren't with them, but if there was like news reports on it, like because it was too graphic for them. Maybe that's what it was. That it was PG and some pretty young kids were going to see it, and then they get like the T-Rex biting somebody in half, or that freaks them out. I could see that. So yeah, we've gone through some things too in the US with the rating systems that have changed. You can go back to some PG movies that are not PG. They would not be PG today. They'd be definitely a 13 or more. So Miss Kamen, correct me. Joan Rivers was in space. Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense. Oh well. You didn't have to admit anything. I would have believed you. I didn't know any better. So okay, good to know. I haven't seen that movie for a long time either. Spaceballs. Interesting. Didn't know that. Yep. They Live. Yeah, that's awesome. That's so good. It holds up so well. That's practical effects. CGI has come a long way, but if you look back at old CGI, you can just tell it just ages a lot less, but or a lot worse. But I know I'm probably losing people. I'm trying to get through some of this stuff, and then um, I'm not rushing anywhere. But if people are sick of me, believe me, I get sick of myself pretty quickly. So Norway has puke. Yep. Hey, maybe that'd be a good thing. I remember they probably would have put one on. I remember when Blair Wick Blair Witch Project came out in theaters, and that hit the news like crazy. And I remember being kind of weirded out because there were all these stories. All our local movie theaters started putting trash cans at the door, a couple places within the theater because so many people were getting sick during that. When I went into it, I thought it was because I didn't hear the whole story. I thought it was because it was like super graphic or super scary, things like anyway, I think it was motion sickness. The whole shaky cam, the found footage, a lot of people get motion sickness, and there was a ton of people getting sick during the movies. I remember with that, and so that probably could have used a puke rating. I don't know. Did anybody else remember that? Did anybody else have theaters that were doing that with? I just remember it was a big deal. They were putting trash cans everywhere in the theaters that were showing them. But in the end, it was a cut like 90 seconds of the real. Huh. Yeah, it's funny. They cut a little thing or bleep a certain word, and all of a sudden it's a different rating. Norway is better nowadays, but still okay. When I was a kid, I was obsessed with Octopussy. Okay, that's a good one. I could sit down and watch about any Bond movie and have fun with it, but yeah, I know what you mean. Look, you should still do the Bond marathon. Yeah, it would be fun to see the rankings. Yes. So I agree with you. I would need to watch. There's been some that have been a long time since I've watched them, so I would need to go back through and watch those again. But I agree that would be fun. Another one, I actually just maybe I'll show this on another live stream someday if people are willing to put up with me again. I just bought. There was a big sale on the. I know this is branching off here, but the large Friday the 13th box set with all the movies, they had a huge sale on that. Sorry, I'm just checking something real quick. Um, Huge sale on that one. I ended up pulling the trigger on it, but that was one I was talking with Anthony about, where he was running through a lot of those movies going up to Halloween. And I think he threw out that too. It's like, oh, that'd be cool to do like a video, your rundown, what you think of them, rate, rank the movies. But they've been so long. There's a couple, I'll admit, a couple I haven't seen, I haven't watched them in a long time, but that'd be fun to do too, whether it's even with somebody else that wanted to run through them. So a lot of movies between those two. So maybe we'll have to do that. Maybe we could do a Bond marathon and discussion about the movies, and then we could do a Friday the 13th marathon and discuss those. That'd be a lot of movies. I need some lead time on that, man. That's a lot of movies to run through. Roger Moore was my first Bond. Roger Moore was a good one. Spy Who Loved Me. Yep. Roger Moore was my first one too. I got into a lot of the other ones too. I mean, Connery really early after I started figuring out there was more than just Roger Moore. But the first one, I could be wrong, but some reason Moonraker sticks out in my head. That had to have been, if it was not my first, it was pretty close to my first. Corey's first stream going to be 4 hours. Whoop, whoop, you go. Either that or everybody's going to be sick of me and never want to hear from me ever again. I can't believe I'm already going that long. Wow, 3 hours. Yeah. Mel, I'm just going to do this one live stream. Nobody's going to want another one from me for a year. So we'll see you next December, maybe. Mel's making sure people are still going. Cody, thank you, man. I can't believe I'm still talking. I can't believe there's still people listening to me. I love it. I'm not saying anything bad about it. But like I said, I didn't know if everybody's saying hi to Mel. I legitimately, saying hi to Miss Kim. I'm going to take another drink too. After 3 hours, I'm going to have another sip. I'm not being modest. I legitimately was coming into this I didn't know if anybody was going to be on. So I'm beside myself. So cool. Oh, thanks, Dirk. No, I feel bad. And even after I get to know some people for a while too, it's a bad thing. Like, this is helping me with my public speaking, I think, as well. Sometimes it doesn't bother me at all. Sometimes I selectively get nervous about it. And sometimes I almost feel like when I'm on the spot a little bit more, when I got to come up with a name, where I got to think of it, I struggle with it sometimes. So as long as people don't hold it against me, it's nothing personal. I just probably forget my own names at some point when I'm talking to people. Maybe I'll call it past. Pixler. Man, Gizmo, I'm trying to go for our record for our stream, man. Maybe not. Another cheap option for a background would be the big multi-panel canvas for your. Oh, so are you talking about like what you have? I think you have. Don't you have like the Millennium Falcon? Or a lot of times I see you. I think it's something like that. Sorry if I'm thinking of somebody else. Like I said, selective memory sometimes, but yeah, that isn't it? Like it's kind of pieced out a little bit. That's cool. Yeah, I'll have to see. I got to come up with something. I know it's completely blank, but it was like I'll just move, get in this spot, and hopefully people can put up with me long enough to figure out something interesting to put in the background. There's so many people that have cool things. It's fun. It's fun looking at them. Yes, it was graphic and scary. Oh, yep, Jurassic Park. I was like 10 when it was released. It was a bit. Oh no, I could see that completely. I was older. Gosh, what year was it released? I had to have been in high school. Oh yeah, gosh, I could have been my senior year of high school. Yeah, I remember being a bit older with it, so it wasn't. By that time watching horror movies and that was no big. So I could see that as a 10-year-old. Yes, I could absolutely see. I could see just those scenes, like I was talking about, those foot stumps and the stomps and the noise and it coming and then ripping them screaming and ripping the top of the car off. No, I could see that completely. Roddy Piper was the man back in the day. Yeah, that was fun. We were talking about They Live earlier. That's a fun movie. I'm not saying it's the greatest movie ever. It's just a fun movie. That alleyway brawl is brutal. And it goes on for a while too. I kind of forgot how long it went on for until I watched it in the theater again. That was one of them. I was saying the classic one that came back in the theater that I got to watch, and I was like, man, I remember it being brutal and I remember it being long, but man, it went on longer than I thought. It was entertaining, but man, that thing was going. Cloverfield was the same way. Oh, with the I think you're talking about the shaky cam, the found footage with I was talking about Blair Witch Project. I've never actually seen Cloverfield. I want to see it, but that's good to know. I'm not always a big fan of the found footage films. Some I like, but some okay, so like the Blair Witch one, I like never get motion sickness. I remember being in the theater and like closing my eyes a couple times because it was just too much for me. It was all over the place, flying all over. Just making sure I'm not getting yelled at for something here. Um, so sorry. Yeah, it was too much, but so maybe I don't know. Was that one over the top with the shaky cam? If not, I'd check it out. If it is really all over the place, I might take a break from that and not go for it. Spielberg is king of making family films dark. Yeah. One I was talking about, so Mel, Justin, and Garrett, they were doing the Rad 9 movies that scared you. I That was one of the earlier videos I did. I know I haven't done very many, but it was an earlier one that I did I submitted for that challenge. And I know it's not Spielberg, but another one I didn't think of was two that I had in my list were Disney films. So it's kind of amazing when as a kid, some of the movies that would scare you from places you weren't expecting. So one of them that was coming to mind was Something Wicked This Way Comes. That one, that one freaked me out when I was a kid when I saw that. Gizmo, we could do bond by actors to split them up. That's that's a good that's a good one. Maybe you could have a tournament, split them up by bond actor, go through, and then have them compete against each other and see who comes out on top. It'd be like a big tournament. So you're ranking, get the best of the best out of each of the bond actors, and then work your way up, and then have them battle out and see who would win out in your bond tournament. All right, you've got that. Really? Thank you very much. Sometimes when I listen back, I still am getting used to seeing my face and hearing my voice on the videos, and I annoy myself. But I think I'm just a really, really hard critic on myself as well. So if you're being serious and actually complimenting me, which I think you are, thank you very much. I think I have an annoying voice sometimes, but that's just me being rough on myself. All right. But the fun is to do the actors first. Yeah. Yeah. We were talking about that, Gizmo. See if the muscle of Craig has a chance against the sophisticated Moore or the handsome Connery or the cool Brosnan or the stiff upper lip of Timothy. Yeah, they all had their own style. And we were talking about that, how that was a bit of a change when Craig came into it, because a lot of times you had the cool, sophisticated Bond that might not have been the most physical. I'm not saying they couldn't fight, but they weren't always the most physically dominating, but they would have their wit and their charm kind of get through things. And Craig had those to an extent, but he definitely had more of the blunt force going for him. Yes. Okay. Yep. The Millennium Falcon. That's what I thought. I always thought it was cool. Yeah. Now I got to come up with something. Get rid of my big blank wall behind me. Hell Comes to Frogtown. I've never seen Frogtown. That was a Piper one too, wasn't it? I love Cloverfield when it came. Okay. Maybe I'll have to watch it, but that's one thing that's one I need to find out, I guess, a little bit, if it's just like complete shaky cam or just some. If it's just constant all over the place, I don't know if I can handle it, even if the story is really good. They Live definitely was a favorite fight scene. Oh yeah, that thing was and that was what was great, having Piper in there. So I don't know. I would love to see a doc. Like maybe the new 4K has that. I don't have the new release of it or anything, but I wonder if somebody's got to tell me if they have that. If they have any behind the scenes kind of extras without talking about it, whether Piper put in a lot of They definitely had wrestling moves put into it, so I just kinda I'd be curious how much input he had into that fight scene. It'd be interesting to me. I agree, Gizmo, but what if we did them separately on an individual actor basis and then a final one? Yeah, there's a lot of interesting ways you could go with that, I think. Absolutely. Ray Bradbury was the truth. Yeah, absolutely. I got into science fiction. I loved science fiction. I still do, but growing up, I was always a slow reader. I liked reading, but it just took me forever to get through books. I'm much more visible or visible visual learner, or audible. It seems like that goes faster for me. But I always liked reading books. It just took me longer. But Ray Bradbury, I have quite a few books still from being a kid. There was one too that I got into for a little while. I don't even know if they'd be good anymore. I don't know why it made me think of it, but was it Piers Anthony? I think his name was Piers Anthony, and he had a series of books that had like, oh gosh, one of them I think I always stuck on was it On a Pale Horse or Pale Horse? It was like death, and each book was like a different character. Like there was death, I think there was like time, there was Mother Nature, there was each one of those. I found those really interesting. It'd be interesting to go back and read those and whether I still like them or if I find them corny now. But I remember being younger and really liking those, and it'd be interesting to revisit. But it was like each of those facets, death, time, Mother Nature. I can't remember what there was other ones, but it was like an office somebody held. Like on death, I think he accidentally kills death when he comes for him, and he has to like take that office and be on the pale horse and go collect souls. But um, you got me thinking. I'm gonna have to go back and look those books up. I think I have them somewhere. Great idea on the Bond tournament. It'd be fun. Cody, would you want to jump in? Do you like Bond films? Maybe you could go into it. There's a lot. That's a problem. That one's daunting. You'd have to have a lot of lead time on it because I forget how many movies are in it, but there's so many movies in that. Yes, maybe that's fun. Let's see. Let's see a lot of them in a month. I can't. Yeah. Maybe we should just start planning now. Do the Bond tournament like November or December of 2024. You got a year to get through them all. Do like 2 movies a month and get to it. I did that one already. Yes, NPR comment was made. I figured it was. I'm sarcastic sometimes, selectively. So I'm sure you have come across that once in a while with Caveman, right? With Guy. No, I figured you were, but well, thank you. No, I appreciate the compliment. Or movie posters for your background. Yeah. See, that would be the thing. I'd want them to be where I'm sitting lower when I'm doing the videos. So like this, if someone be visible. And whether I change things around or not, I have the camera and I'm kind of coming at a different angle and seeing more of this blank wall, and you don't see the spinning shelf there. Having them at a right height where it's not too distracting, like they're cut off, but then they don't look weird just being in the room. Like if somebody walked in here and looked at them, it wouldn't look too off-putting. Like how I gotta mess around with some stuff. No, it's a good idea. You don't want to know my favorite found footage. We'll do that offline, Johnny. We'll talk about that later. Maybe we won't talk about that. You're always good for a laugh. You're a good guy. Something wicked I have not seen. Dirk has been creeping about it for months now. Need to check it out. Okay, so Dirk likes it. Seriously? No, I just recently rewatched it. When I was doing that Rad 9 movies that scared me, I knew that was one I wanted to have on it, but I was like, I need to go back and rewatch it. I had the DVD of it. I could see where it scared me as a kid. There was some stuff in it for a Disney movie. Yeah. So don't get your hopes up too high, but it was interesting listen to the commentary on They Live. They talk about the first time. Okay, cool. So is that on is that on the 4K release? I gotta check mine. Maybe I'm just horrible and I have something on the old one I have, and there's something there. I just didn't take the time to listen to it. But do you have one of the? I'm curious, Laren, which one you have was a 4K or I think there was, or that Steelbook, maybe they're the same, or that, I think Shout Factory did a Shout or Scream, whatever. I think they did a release a Blu-ray of that one time too. Oh my God, Louis Piers Anthony. I haven't heard that. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Is that the series, what it was called? Okay. So I don't know why that popped in my head when we were just talking about that, but okay, cool. I'm not the only one. I always remember I don't know why so those were kind of books I really liked. That was probably I can't remember if that was middle school or very early high school that I was reading those. I don't know when they came out, but I think that was around the time I was reading them. She fell in love with me because of my sarcasm. Yeah, absolutely. So I figured she knows when I'm being a smart aleck. She knows when she's used to it, right? Okay. You lost me on that one, Lauren, but it's easy to lose me. Doesn't take much. The worst quote in James Bond that I ever forgot is I thought Christmas only comes once a year. Yep. Isn't it wicked? Wicked. An Ewok. Yeah. Please don't delete me. Yeah. Wicked is an Ewok. That was my first in the theater Star Wars experience was Return of the Jedi. Yeah, Carpenter and Piper are on the commentary on the four. Okay. I have many copies. Yeah, that's one I could see buying lots of copies of. I'll have to check that. I'll have to get that one. That's one I'm sure I got on I have so many listed on my Amazon and other things where I try to watch for sale reminders or something drops in price. But yeah, it still holds up something. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Oh, what's that? I'm totally blanking on that actor's name. The bad dude, he's coming in there and he's just like, he's trying to find the children in the library and the older dad. Yeah. Gosh, I'm horrible. I'll have to look that up. But well, anyway, I don't know. I think I got through all the comments. I still have a few people in here, but I tell you what, I think this was a great experience. I think I might be winding it down for the night. I still have some movies I haven't gone through, but maybe I'll save them for another time. I don't want to burn you all out in one shot. I had fun doing this. So as long as people don't mind listening to me talking, I think that would be something ah I'm a little naive on things. That's all right, Lauren. But no, I don't want to burn it out too much. I had a blast doing this. I can't believe how long I went. I can't believe how many of you are still here. I appreciate so much everybody that came in and joined in on this. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate how much interaction everybody has been in the chat. It's beyond my expectations. I'm very, very grateful. Being completely sincere, it was awesome. I appreciate it. I'm repeating myself. I do that a lot, but I don't know if people hang out. I'll do this again sometime. Um, I do it a lot more often if I knew people actually didn't mind hanging out and doing this. I don't want to outstay my welcome, but it's definitely something that I love having these talks. Maybe I can have some people on another time, and then I also want to get thinking of maybe I'll keep movie club as the name, maybe something else, but watching a movie and, dissecting it, talking about it. Doesn't have to get too deep, but just talking about the movie and get chat involved. But even doing something like this, I could just hang out and chat movies like recent pickups, things like that. I know other people do it, but it's me being selfish and wanting to be having the conversation too. So thank you, Cody. Awesome. I appreciate you jumping in for however long any of you were on here, whether it was the whole time or 10 minutes or 2 minutes. Very, very cool. I appreciate it. Johnny had a blast. Thank you. I'm going to go drink like a gallon of water after this. I am so dried out, but I would do it again in a heartbeat. I just am not used to talking this much. So hopefully I'm doing okay. Mel, thank you so much. I appreciate it. So there's so many people. I get a kick out of seeing people like you comment on me doing something on here. So I appreciate it very much. It's awesome. Gizmo too. I'll drop my first percent. Oh, wow, dude. So, okay, I would Gizmo. Sorry, I was absorbing that. I know I was sitting silent for a second, but you'll drop your first professional short film on your channel today. So I know you're Norway, a little bit of a time difference. It's from 2004. It has been lying around for almost 16 years, so why not get it out there? The voice of one's conch. Awesome. That dude, I wish I had the creativity to die. I can't wait to check it out. I can't wait to check it out. Thank you very much for letting me know. Um, yeah, I know I don't have a wide reach, but any way I can help promote or send things out, count me in, man. I'm willing to check it out and see it. That's it's awesome. Put it out there. Let's. I'm looking forward to it. Mr. Dark, Jonathan. Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry. Yes. My mind. Yes. For something wicked. Yep. I'm sure that's what you're talking about. No, that's a good one. I wish I could get the I saw somebody, oh gosh, I'm blanking on now, flashing a Blu-ray for that, but I think it's only a if I could talk, Disney Club exclusive. Like you have to be in that Disney Club, movie club. I've never done it before, so I don't know how good or bad of a deal that is, but I think you can get a Blu-ray only through that. I just have the DVD of it. I would like the Blu-ray, but I don't know if I want to join the club. You're not a pot connoisseur. No, I do cook a lot of rice. I use pots for that, but I think you're talking about a different one. It's been a fun time for sure. Thanks, Jeff, for hanging out. However long you're here. Thanks, dude. Great job. Really enjoyed it. I appreciate it. We definitely want to see more of you. Cody, thank you for humoring me. No, I know you're being serious. I appreciate it. I love seeing you and your wife too, and your daughter. It's fun. You got the whole group in the on the thing. You got a great family there. I love seeing that. Um, I love checking out. Now I got to go see how many videos I got to catch up on. How many people posted videos today that I haven't gotten to, or tonight? I mean, thanks for going live, Will. Love the sincerity and positivity. Please go live again, dude. Seriously, Laren, I appreciate that very much. You're a cool dude. You just seem like one of those super positive, supportive people. I've seen you in even before I talked to you, long before that. I've seen you in streams when I was being the quiet observer a lot of the time for a long time. I always see you jumping in and seeing you on streams too. I don't know. Maybe you'd ever want to hop on a stream too. I love having a talk with you, go through this stuff. So I don't know if you do it a lot. I've seen you a few times on on different people's channels, but cool. Thank you very much for the compliment. I appreciate it. Agreed, Cody. It's been a pleasure. Thank you, Holland. I'm official. Holland has been in my stream. You're parched. I am. This is good. I don't usually talk this much, but I had fun. This was absolutely a blast. So great stream, Wilkie. Looking forward to the next time. Thank you, Gizmo. Appreciate it. I'll look forward to that short movie of your short film that you're putting out. So I'll have to watch for that. Or if you can send me a link when it is live, if you don't mind, shoot me something. I'll go take a look at it. Take care. Great stream. Thank you, Dirk. Thank you very much. I'll remember your name next time, so don't hold that against me. Like I said, my mind. I'd be honored to join your stream. Oh, cool, Aaron. I'll have to think about that. I mean, nothing special about jumping on one of my streams, but I love talking to different people, and you seem like a cool dude to talk to. Johnny, all you have to do is let us know when you're ready to go live, and we'll be there. Johnny, awesome. Same with you, man. Whether it's recorded or live, you're a cool dude, man. Thank you. I'm going to repeat myself a lot. A lot of you are very cool people and very supportive and very positive, and I appreciate you all, like, sincerely. Holland, stop talking in the stream. Watch The Little Mermaid. Absolutely. So, okay, everybody, this has been a blast. It's beyond expectations. Absolutely blown away. Thank you very, very much. I'm very sincere about that. Just click that bell. Thank you, Aaron. So yeah, if anybody feel like humor me in the future, if you aren't subscribed, I guess is that what I'm supposed to say? Like subscribe, hit the bell, hit the notifications, do that fun stuff. I'd love to hang out with you again. So, Laren, appreciate it. Everybody, thank you so much. This has been a blast. Hope to do this here pretty soon. Cody, have a great night too. Say hi to wife and the kids too, your daughter too, if they're up. I still got to say that I think one day your wife had posted a picture of, is it crumble cookie? And I got to hold that against her because we ended up going and buying crumble cookie like the next night because my daughter said she had to have them, but after I showed it to her, so bad influence. But no, honestly, thank you very much, everybody. I plan on doing this more as long as people are willing to put up with me and hang out and do this. This was a blast. I'd love to have some guests on as well, and then start that movie collection or movie club idea up too, even separately, and figuring out all those details. I'm still new, so thanks for humoring me and putting up with me. So again, I hope you all have a wonderful night. Appreciate it. Thanks for the support. Love you. And we'll talk to you here soon. We'll see you guys.